Last time on Square Roots, Aerith takes a hike, Yuffie minds her own business, and everybody hates Barrett. Also, everyone loses their minds when they see a bird that slightly resembles Cloud. Let's hope they never see a pineapple. It will be absolute chaos.
And welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zant.
Hey, yo, it's your best friend, Matthew Van Zant.
Johnny James Dio Brandon.
Oh, I get it.
That's a pretty good pun. That's a pretty good pun.
What was his song?
Holy Diver!
Holy Diver,
Holy
that's
Diver!
right.
Yeah.
We had that episode where
for some reason my brain said Lonely Tiger. That's like, not right.
Lonely Tiger!
Who did he sing for before he went solo? I can't remember. One of those
Judas
shitty 80s
Priest
bands that I don't like.
Yeah, it wasn't Judas Priest.
I don't think it was Judas Priest. That's Rob somebody.
Rob Schneider?
Hold on.
Rob Schubert.
Dio was a heavy metal singer for Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath. Oh, that's right. He replaced
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah. Also joined by Vanessa. A.K.A. Vanessa in the streets, Vanasty in the sheets.
Wow.
That's right.
And this is a podcast where we can talk about your favorite classic RPGs one chunker at a time.
It's a chunker at a time.
Are you
Part
Jim's hype
6
woman?
of...
Yeah,
Is it part 5 or part 6?
Part 6.
Well, you put part 6 in the
6.
notes, but I don't trust your incomplete notes.
Count
I
them
think
up.
that's correct.
1, 2,
Part
3,
6.
4, 5, 6.
part
Yeah,
6.
he got it right.
I'm really excited to talk about
Vanessa, what is this bit?
It's a hype woman.
I felt really inspired by Gus in this chunker and his hype man, and I thought I need to, be more supportive of my friends, like Gus's friends are.
I'm really excited to talk about the trip.
It's part 6.
Up Mount Corel and, going through Corel and all the fun stuff there before we go to the Golden Saucer.
Oh, Matt.
Yep.
See, do you
we
remember?
did record without you.
Yeah, last week when you had that liquid diarrhea across America.
No, we got so horny after seeing Scarlett's massive
That's
donkers
right. That's what we said.
that he passed out.
Yeah. When all
You
the
guys
blood rushed
recorded
away from your
without
head.
me? That's illegal.
Jim's
That's against
kissing.
the law.
Welcome to Jim's kissing party.
Okay. That's a joke that isn't going to make any sense with no context, but let's
Yeah, but-
continue.
It's okay.
Do
Mount
all
Corel,
jokes
we
need to
walked
make
up
sense?
it, and then...
Stephen King once wrote.
Did you say Phoebe King?
Stephen King.
Who's Phoebe King? Is that Stephen King's
Phoebe King
illegitimate
once
daughter?
wrote.
Sounds like you're launching into the end of a Criminal Minds episode. Do you
It's
remember
the
how they always
beginning.
used to have like a quote from someone?
It's the beginning of Alan Wake 1.
Yeah, guys, do you remember all those Criminal Minds finales where they had quotes from people?
Shut up, you suck.
Oh,
Has anybody got any
before we
hot
get into-
gaming news?
That's a good
Yeah,
question.
I got some.
Wow. Lay it on us, sister.
Who loves takedown notices? That's right, Nintendo
I do,
of
I do.
America.
Oh, well, yeah, them
Nintendo
too.
of America is blanketing Gary's Mod creators with takedown notices
No way.
for all
Gary's
of their
mod.
Nintendo content.
Yeah? Okay.
Anyone who's made a Mario, a Yoshi, a Zelda,
Yoshi.
any of that over the past, however long Gary's Mods has been up, 20 years?
Something like that.
Gotta go.
16 years.
Get the heck out of here. Gary's Mod themselves have requested that people remove their own content because it is a momentous task for them to go through every single thing that's been uploaded and find all the Nintendo content and delist it. But that is what they're in the process of doing.
They don't do that. They've paid some giant law firm to do it for them.
I hate being in the
yes.
I hate being in the position of defending the multi-billion-dollar company, but I also I never particularly feel bad when these types of things happen. Like, you knew this was going to happen, though, right? Mm-hmm. Y'all know about how companies be litigious.
Yeah.
That's a
But
thing.
also, these people are like these people are usually the only people who are
carrying
supporting
Nintendo.
like these older games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt's carrying water for the corporate.
Your arms hurt after carrying all that water for Nintendo.
I mean, Mario's their biggest property, and they just put out a movie, and they've got all sorts of stuff about it. Why would they want to let it be in some fucking crazy thing like Gary's Mod? Why should they?
Who cares about having fun when Nintendo's intellectual property is?
I mean, I'm not saying
Am I right?
I'm not saying that there's something like morally wrong with it. I'm just saying that I also don't see why Nintendo should not want to do these.
Well, it's
they think they're
marketplace
protecting their
confusion
brand.
because, when a grandma goes out to get her grandson the new Mario game, she sometimes accidentally downloads Gary's Mod and goes into the user-created library and gets the
When
Mario
Mario has
off
a
that.
giant hog.
Yeah.
Oh dear, Mario
I
has
do
a
wonder
giant
if there'll
dog.
be any kind of sort of lawyerly retribution in that Nintendo has some games that allow users to upload content as well. And there could be an argument made there that, like, oh, you made, a Dragon Age outfit in Animal Crossing. We want that taken down. Maybe it's a little different.
I feel like that's an inevitability. Like, they're like, you're infringing on our copyright, and some shitty AI is gonna go look at everyone's avatar and then automatically serve cease and desist.
Yeah.
People. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of Mario Maker 2 levels, too, with music in them. Like, people recreate songs and things like that. And
Oh yeah, American Music Group is gonna be giving copyright strikes to like old grandmas playing Animal Crossing.
That's a great point. I think you made an excellent point though there, which is that Nintendo also deals in this type of make your own content, and they know as well as everybody else that that's going to mean copyrighted content. So maybe they're hypocrites.
maybe they are. That's my game in news.
Holy diver! I can't now. It's stuck in my head.
I have some hot gaming news.
Oh
sweet.
yeah.
There is an update to Dragon's Dogma 2 that totally reduces the frequency and severity of Dragon's Plague, so that your save game isn't ruined by your random plague affecting your pawn and him or them murdering the entire village or city you're in.
Too bad.
Is that good or bad?
I mean, I kind of like the chaos of it, but it's probably if you want to play the game for the best.
Yeah.
I do like chaos, though. I'm a real joker.
Yeah, some people
John
just
lives
want
in
to
a
watch
society.
the world burn.
Mm-hmm. Master Wayne. Some people just want to watch the world burn. Like
All right.
I mean,
Well,
if you look at the way Johnny and I used to play PUBG, which is to just turn on our microphones, drive around, and sing songs at the other players, I think Johnny is.
a little
I miss you guys
sorry,
playing
man.
PUBG. That leads me into a small bit of hot gaming news that nobody but me cares about. I guess in a couple of weeks, PUBG is going to be launching Old Erangel. They're going to replace Erangel with the original or an approximation of the original version of the map, complete with guns in the lobby and clothes on the floor. So that's fun.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to that. That sounds like a fun, stupid thing to do.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
PUBG seems
but
like it's
real hot.
enjoying a surge in popularity. Is that true, or is that just my crazy theory?
I don't know. I don't know that it's ever really like it stays at the top of the Steam charts. Maybe not number one, but it's stayed up there for fucking 6 years now.
Weirdly enough, a lot of my coworkers play it. Was talking to one of them the other day, and she said she plays like 3 hours a night, squads.
Wow.
Gosh dang.
I mean, it's a great game. I just played, and right before we started recording, I got myself a nice, satisfying chicken dinner. Fallout 4 got a next-gen update today. That's exciting news. Today being
play it.
a few days before this episode released. So if you have been watching that Fallout show and wanting to play some Fallout 4 got a cool next-gen update. In fact, we're talking about maybe that being one of the votes, I think, for the next vote that we probably need to figure out and put up pretty soon.
We certainly are talking about that.
I thought Vanessa wanted to do Fallout 3.
We had talked about both.
I had said 3, and then Jim said 4, and with the update, 4 kind of makes sense.
I think and they're not super tied together, right? I mean, I'll play either one. I don't care.
No, not at all.
And also, it has to win the vote, of which, of course, I'm going to have something that'll be destined and must win. Final Fantasy V. No, I'm kidding. I've had enough Final Fantasy. I'm fucking sick of it.
We've been playing Final Fantasy VI for like 2 years, I think.
Yeah, well, it doesn't help that we take 3 weeks off between every episode.
That's true.
All right, I do have one other small piece of hot gaming news, which is that Stellar Blade game came out, or is about to come out.
Did come out today.
Hey, guess what? Reviews are pretty good. It's getting good reviews.
Yeah,
8s and 9s.
Apparently, a lot of gamer gators are mad because they've been championing this game for so long, and it turns out it's a PS5 exclusive.
Oh, is it really?
A lot of them
That's
can't even play it.
Aww.
Amazing. Well, listen, I am vaguely interested in playing it at some point. We'll see. It sounds like it has interesting combat, or good combat, which is something that tends to draw me to games.
Might try the demo.
Probably won't tell anybody that I'm playing it, though, because I don't need weirdos ranting at me on the internet.
What about me?
You're not a weirdo.
Oh, okay.
He's your kind of weirdo.
Johnny's not a weirdo. He's my friend.
Yay.
Oh, boy, he didn't sound very excited about that. Now I'm questioning our whole friendship. I'm spiraling for sure. Is Johnny my
John,
friend? Does Johnny hate me?
Can you do me a favor, John?
Yeah.
Can you put a lid on your Pepsi? You're getting all kinds of particles and stuff.
All he
into your
wanted
drink.
was a Pepsi. Just one Pepsi.
Mom, just wanted a Pepsi.
What if I do it like this?
That's okay.
Kind of like half off.
That's really casual and cool.
Cash pet.
It looks like it's wearing like a hat.
Yeah,
Like a backwards
little beret.
baseball cap.
Oh, I want fancy, Vanessa. I want beret.
Oh, okay.
That's a Kangol hat.
Like a backwards beret.
All right, who wants to level up? I will then. I'll level up first.
Do it.
I went and saw a movie called Abigail.
Oh, yeah.
It's about a little girl vampire, and it stars.
Oh, I saw that. It's
Dan
called Let the Right
Stevens.
One In?
Oh no, this is way different than that. It's got Dan Stevens and her name's I think Melissa Barrera, the lady from Scream, the Scream remake,
Scream make?
redo, Screamake,
Screeboot.
and that one big muscly guy who's in everything was in it.
Oh, The Rock?
No,
John
different
Cena.
muscly guy, different muscly guy.
Dave Bautista.
He's Canadian.
That doesn't... I don't know the
He's from
nationalities
he's from
of
Quebec.
actors.
His name is Kevin Durand.
That's not...
And-
that is definitely not the big muscly guy that everybody would have... You know...
Who's Kevin Durand?
I'm sure he has some
Kevin
muscles.
Durant?
Most people do.
Oh,
Kevin
Alan
Durand is-
Alan Richson? Is that who you're talking about?
Kevin Durand is a muscle-bound guy. He's a big muscle guy.
Oh, Kevin
it
Durant, the
also-
basketball player.
No, Kevin Durand. It also has Matthew Good and Giancarlo Esposito.
That guy's in
and
everything.
And R.I.P. Angus Cloud from Euphoria. For all you Euphoria heads out there.
Our show has Matthew Bad.
Wow, again. What did I do?
He's just
But the
coming for
movie
you.
was good.
Thought we were friends.
I love a good vampire movie. This one was super cool and had a lot of Dan Stevenson, which makes
He's great.
a movie good. makes a movie good.
You said the same thing about Godzilla versus Kong too.
Yeah, that still holds true. Dan Stevens, maybe the most charming man in the world, I think. He got charisma coming out of his ears. I also got a Steam Deck last weekend and have been playing on it a lot. I see John playing on his right now as we're talking.
That's what I saw last night when we were streaming.
I've played a bunch of Fallout 4. I did a whole playthrough of Resident Evil 7. And today I played... John's downloading Fallout 4. And today I played the opening section of Resident Evil 8. I downloaded a couple other horror games, but haven't really gotten into them yet. But Steam Deck, wow, it's amazing. It runs so well. The battery lasts a good long time. The UI is really well done. You can go in and out of your library super fast. There's tons of settings you can toggle. The screen looks incredible. It feels good to play. Like ergonomically, it's very satisfying. My hands don't get tired like they do sometimes when I'm playing the Switch.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what.
It's a good little console.
If you remember, I bought those big chunky controllers for the Switch, which have now gotten broken, which is really fucking frustrating for me. But
how did they get brokey?
Children. I have children, and they're assholes. I mean, I love them to death, and nobody's allowed to talk about them like that. But
nobody's allowed to talk to them.
Well, yeah, no, definitely.
Don't talk to me or my son ever again.
Anyway, when I got those big chunky controllers for the Switch, it really became a lot easier to handle, and it looks like the Steam Deck has not the same but similar like big controllers. It's made for man hands.
Where they're positioned on the console themselves, I think works really well. Like they're both towards the top where your thumbs are naturally going to be anyway when you're holding it. Mm-hmm. So it feels very natural. The trackpads are super responsive. It just feels fun to play. Like it's so cool laying in bed and being able to play Fallout 4, being able to play Resident Evil 7. Mm-hmm. Like it's just it's a cool thing. John, how do you like yours? I know you're like a week ahead of me in terms of
I'm already getting into like trying to install GOG Galaxy via Proton emulation so I can run Cyberpunk. There's a whole like you could really get into the weeds there.
Yeah. I want to download the PS5 Remote Play app. I think that would be cool. But it seems like it's going to be a process, so I haven't really done it yet. I'm still enjoying my Steam games.
You have to install like an Android layer, right? Emulator. And then run that? Is that how it works?
No, you can
This is not convincing me that I need a Steam Deck. In fact, it sounds terrible.
It sounds way too complicated. I can already play PlayStation in my bed because my PlayStation's in my bedroom.
For like native Steam games, it's amazing.
Yeah, for native Steam games, it just you press a button and it runs. Unless it's Forza Horizon 4, in which case you have to go to the Steam OS and then log into the EULA there. But you needed to attach a keyboard to get that game to work first.
John, I did the same thing with Max Payne 3. Yeah. I had to go like around the Rockstar launcher and do all this stuff to get it to work. It eventually worked, and it worked great, but it was a little bit of a process to get it going.
It's not a Switch. It's not everything easy right away. But most games
But if it's in your Steam library, it's like chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm. Except for Max Payne 3 and Forza Horizon 4.
And PUBG, which I guess is not optimized for the deck even a little bit. It seems like a great game to run on your deck.
Does that seem like a fun game to play on your Steam
It does.
Yeah, why not?
It does not.
These nerds are talking like they're jailbreaking iPhones or something.
Anything with an anti-cheat software won't work, basically.
At all on the Steam Deck?
Yeah, like Destiny 2 does not work unless you boot in Windows, and I bet PUBG doesn't either.
I bet you're right, yeah. Anyways, that's what I did with my week last week. Matt, how did you level up?
All right. Well, it was my daughter's birthday last weekend, so I did a lot of that type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Teen stuff.
Driving teens around to malls and McDonald's and whatnot.
He did have to dress in a Lolita Goth outfit. like with.
I looked hot as fuck, so I don't even know why you're bringing.
You had
it
a
up.
fascinator with a bird on it. Oh, it looked amazing.
It was fascinating. So, I did watch a movie that Jim previously leveled up regarding, and I have been waiting to hit videos so that I could watch it, and that is Late Night with the Devil.
Yeah, me too.
Ooh.
Yeah, and Vanessa watched Late Night with the Devil as well, so we can briefly talk about it. I thought it was okay.
Didn't Jim watch it? I thought Jim watched that as well.
Jim saw it in theaters.
I did. I
He
saw it in
already got his chance
theaters
to
back
talk
in
about
March. Yeah.
Now it's
Johnny-
Matt and Vanessa's time.
Johnny, go ahead and take your headphones off so that we can have a frank
No,
and honest discussion
it's fine.
about it.
It's fine. You can. I'll
I
still
mean, there's
watch
not
it.
a lot
even
of
if
plot
you-
to spoil.
Yeah, if you spoil,
Yeah.
I don't think the plot's that. Or secret
It's-
surprises are going to motivate me not to see it.
Not a lot of twists in
Yeah.
there.
No, there's not
Yeah.
much in the way of secret surprises or twists.
But
it
listeners,
looks great.
skip ahead
and
if
it's
you
got
don't want to hear spoilies.
yes, excellent point. It's got it looks great. I loved the 70s film effects that they did, and particularly towards the end, some of the like demony and monstery effects looked very like 70s TV weird, and it looked cool. And I thought that David Dastmalchian was great. Some of the other actors were less good, and I felt like it was, I don't know if underdeveloped is the right word so much as like just underbaked. Like it just kind of didn't deliver on much in the way of like plot or story, and what little was there was kind of pretty, cut and dry. And it didn't
And it's
have
time
much.
for Vanessa to jump in.
It didn't have much of what I would say, like in the way of like scares. Like it built some decent tension and atmosphere, but nothing that like, I mean, like, this is my go-to these days, I guess, but I always like to refer back to the first half of Barbarian, which I thought like the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. I think that first half of Barbarian is one of the best pieces of film I've seen in a long time. And this movie just like it built some tension, but then it just kind of farts out a bloody end and is over. What did you think, Vanessa?
Yeah, I had a similar experience with it. I didn't feel that the ending was particularly satisfying. It sort of has a conceit that it's like this found footage documentary, but then it seemed like by the end they just dropped that entirely. Like there wasn't any more kind of idea that that's what you were watching, or it didn't sort of put a button on the story in any kind of way. Mm-hmm. And I also felt that for the main character's motivations, they kind of tried to have it both ways, like have him be a creep, but also like a likable, sympathetic guy who didn't understand what was happening.
Yeah.
And
He should have been a likable scumbag.
Yeah.
More of a likable scumbag.
But it just kind of made it seem unfocused and like it didn't really make sense. They kind of tried to establish this
agree.
background for this character, and then it didn't go anywhere, and it was
Well,
alluded
I felt
to.
like the movie, it kept getting in its own way. Like it would introduce something interesting, and then it would kind of get you excited about it, and then the show segment would end, and it would cut away to the black and white parts where it's like showing what's going on backstage, and it just felt so tonally different and took you out of what was going on in the movie. And
Well, it was such a
like,
weird
every time I would
conceit.
start to get amped up. Yeah,
'Cause
it would cut away.
At the beginning
Yeah.
of the movie,
And-
they tell you like this is the master tape of the final episode, but then they cut in all this back behind the scenes stuff, and it just it never made like every time it happened, I was like, what is this supposed to be? If this is what you want to do,
Also-
just make it a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Or just like show me the broadcast of the show.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want.
It had
Yeah.
some good
Also,
ideas.
Also, like the first death of the movie happens off screen. Okay, like fuck that.
Yeah.
Like, show me somebody dying. That sucks.
Well, and I think that too, that without that backstage stuff, you could have played with, a mystery around what these characters' motivations are and who's sincere and who's
Exactly,
not being
yeah.
sincere, and, whether or not certain people
But
are
when they-
frauds or not.
Yeah, and when they go backstage, it's just all exposition.
Right. And it's
like
very
they're
much the
just
characters
explaining
being
their
like,
state of mind. Yeah.
here's exactly who I am and exactly what my motivations are, and then there's not there's no room to kind of play with that. Whereas as an audience member watching the broadcast, the whole idea is like, you don't know who's sincere and who isn't, and who's real and who isn't. But they take that away from you as an audience member of the movie, which is weird.
I was telling Matt this on the stream last night, but I thought the actor who played the skeptic guy who was questioning everything was so fucking terrible. That guy was community theater actor. He was so glaringly bad in the
I
movie.
liked the idea of having a skeptic, and I don't just mean someone who is skeptical, but somebody who considers themselves a skeptic of paranormal activity.
He was
on
James
the set
Randi,
with them.
essentially. He was just legit James Randi, former magician turned skeptic.
He's the famous guy who's just like in the movie, I'll pay you $1 million if you can show me proof of paranormal activity.
I thought that was a pretty interesting thing to do, but then it also just kind of, I don't know. It worked. I thought that was fine. The actor wasn't great. I thought a lot of the kind of side character actors weren't great. So.
They were mostly pretty bad.
Do you remember
but the actor who played the possessed girl was really good.
She was
I
good.
thought she was great.
The lady was good. I liked his sidekick, his hype man.
Oh, I love that
thought he
guy.
was-
That
I
guy
thought he
was
Was
great.
he drunk?
That
No.
Well, I was just so smitten with Das Malkian. It's no secret how I feel about that I don't think I noticed anyone else's performance, to be honest.
Aw, Jim got snacks and rubs. Hello.
It wasn't bad at all. It was... Are those chicken nuggets?
no, it's shrimp.
Please tell me that
Shrimpy.
Amanda just brought you
Pretty
nuggies.
shrimp? Man.
Yeah.
It would have been cuter if it was nuggies.
Anyway, for me at least overall, a pretty good movie that I actually do recommend watching. I had a good time. I wasn't mad that I watched it. I just felt a little kind of deflated afterwards. It just kind of didn't all come together at the end. But it was very engaging throughout. So, pretty good. Vanessa, why don't you give me your final review and also go ahead and level up.
My final review is that I enjoyed watching it. It's short, so it's not, if you don't love it, it's not going to ruin your day.
Yeah.
And then since I picked up a Shudder free trial to watch that, I also watched a movie called Speak No Evil, which I cannot recommend to anyone, except that if you're looking for, tension, barbarian-style tension, that movie is basically pure barbarian-style tension the whole way through.
Oh.
It is a good movie,
Which
but
one
it's
is
one that
that?
you'll never want to watch ever again.
Let me look up the title.
It's
I will say, I feel like there's two Speak No Evil films, one from 22 and one from 24. Okay, cool.
This
cool,
is
cool,
a
cool.
22
24 is
one.
the
They're remaking
24
it.
is the American remake. Yeah.
And also the
so it's
trailer
not a-
for the American remake gives away the whole movie. So if you're interested in watching it, don't watch
it
that
does.
trailer.
It gives away the entire movie.
Vanessa?
Tension to me is, and I understand that this is, I'm not claiming that that my opinion is best or that, this is what makes good horror. But for me, what really makes good horror has always been thick atmosphere and tension. I mean, look at the movies I love. Alien. The Thing. The first half of Barbarian, but not the back half. Once they start singing Ricky Tikki Tavi, fucking turn it off because you've seen too much.
Yeah, just be like, oh, okay, that's the end of the movie.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt your level up. Vanessa, please continue.
That's all right. The other thing that I have been doing is playing a whole bunch of casual adventure games.
Yay.
Oh, yeah, you have.
I just got a
Botany
little bug
Manor.
in my bonnet, and I wanted to play them, so I have prepared a list.
Cool.
Here I go. I played Botany Manor, which is a game.
Quick review score. I want a review score for each.
Ooh, I
Okay,
like that.
what format do you want the score in?
Out of 10.
Okay.
Das Malkians.
Okay.
Out of
Yes,
10.
out of 10 Dels Malkians.
Botany Manor, I'll give it 8 Dosimalkians out of 10. I
Wow.
liked it a lot. It is super, super cozy. It's just a little sort of walking puzzle game. and each puzzle is built around sprouting a plant. So you get a seed, you have to look around, find clues as to the special conditions under which this plant will sprout, and then you sprout yourself a plant. I liked it. It's short, it's like, oh, Johnny's got a fisherman's friend, he's gonna suck on it. And I thought it was pretty good. Close to the Sun is the next one I played. This is a horror game. Kind of a puzzle game, but the puzzles are few and far between and not very good. It looks like BioShock. Like, it's very clearly inspired by BioShock. It's on a ship. It's Art Deco. It's creepy. It's got jump scares. It's got some chase sequences. I didn't like it. I'll give it 2 Dosmalkians.
Oh.
I did a short hike, which I've never played before. Have any of you guys played a short hike?
No, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. It's on Game Pass.
Yeah,
I've thought about downloading it.
Yeah, it's pretty universally lauded, and I think it deserves to be 9 Dosmalkians. It's just about being a little bird going on a little hike. There's lots of little mini games. It has a fishing mini game, so you fishing mini game connoisseurs are going to want to jump on that. Venba was really interesting. It's very, very short, like maybe an hour long, and it's about Indian immigrants in Canada, and their story is told through cooking Indian food. So each sequence, basically you have sort of a half of a recipe book, and you have to figure out what the missing elements are and cook up some delicious Indian food. I liked it a lot. I don't think it's probably worth paying for because it's so short, but it is on Game Pass. And the final game I will talk about, Superliminal. Superliminal is like Portal, like very, very much like Portal, except instead of portal puzzles, it's perspective puzzles. So objects become bigger or smaller depending on where you hold them up in your field of sight.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it's, if you've played Portal, it's set up just like that. You go through different rooms. Each room is a new puzzle. There's also some optical illusions that you interact with. So you have to, change your perspective so something looks like a cube, and then you can pick up that cube and carry it around. It's interesting. It was good. I liked it a lot. It kept me up past my bedtime. I will also give that one 9 Dosmalkians.
Wow.
Vanessa, you're not going to mention Birth Rebirth?
I wasn't going to mention Birth Rebirth because I've already talked a lot. But yes, I did also watch a movie Jim recommended called Birth Rebirth. I didn't think I'd like it because the title was stupid, but he was right. It was a good movie.
Vanessa and I both...
Talk to Me on Shudder. You should watch that.
Talk to Me is on Peacock, actually.
Yeah, I do want to watch that.
That
Vanessa,
movie is amazing.
Is it really? I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Vanessa and I both did a free week of Shudder to watch Late Night with the Devil over the weekend, which is why Vanessa ended up watching so many horror movies. And I meant to do the same, and then instead I spent the week watching DS9 again.
Well, I did also watch Host at Jim's recommendation, which is like 50 minutes long, and that's worth watching.
Good.
It is good
Dude.
stuff. Yeah.
I rented that one a couple of years ago, and that movie blew me away. 50 minutes, all Zoom call, and it blew my
That's a good
fucking
time.
socks off.
Yeah. It's great.
Talk about tension. It's nothing but tension.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think it must be English because all of the characters are English. So.
I think it's Irish.
Oh, is it?
Maybe. I thought it was.
Vanessa, is that your level up?
That is the end of my level up. Thank you for allowing me to do my quickfire game review. There's probably more to come because I'm still doing this game-crazed Gamergate.
Well, you finished Final Fantasy VII. You got like 6 more weeks of not needing to play anything for the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, but also not Gamergate though. We don't like that.
Yeah,
Nope.
I guess I won't call it Gamergate.
We don't like Gamergate. We don't like Gamergate 2. We don't like any of it. I believe that leaves
Gamergate.
Johnny.
That's right, the last one.
Hello, friends.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, so I am your friend? Oh my God, I'm so relieved.
I was just being a silly. I was just being a silly Billy. Hello, friends.
Shut up.
Oh, sorry, sir. And I have been watching, I guess, Taskmaster New Zealand. That's really like the only thing I've been doing other than playing.
Wow, you
this
haven't been
game.
watching the new season of Taskmaster?
A little bit. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not the best season so far, right?
No, it's not.
I
the best.
won't
It's fine.
stand for this Taskmaster slander on my very
I said
own
it's
podcast.
fine. I said
Yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
I don't think I finished the last episode yet. I think I got about halfway through it.
But it doesn't have Julian, who is
Yeah,
my
I
favorite.
agree. I don't think the cast is the new. Like, I'm not trying to co-opt your level up, but the cast of the new one just is not doing it for me after the last season, which I thought had one of the strongest casts they'd ever had, other than that Sam guy who was fucking annoying.
I loved Sam Campbell.
Word is like a dagger through my heart. Like
Julian
killing
the
my darling.
Suze. So
I
fucking
really
good.
like Angela in season 1 of Taskmaster New Zealand. She is delightful. She's like the best part of that season for sure. I mean, it's got
She's
a good
wonderful.
cast. Although I don't like Guy. What's his, not Williams? Guy Daniels?
It is Guy Williams.
Guy
Paul's
Williams.
brother.
Okay, that's right. Because I keep thinking it's Paul Daniels, but that's a dead magician.
Yes, I was very confused when you messaged me. I don't like Paul Daniels' brother, and I was like,
Yes.
all right.
The dead magician?
Yep.
He used to have a show on YTV. It was reruns, but you don't understand what YTV is, so don't worry about it. And I've been playing games on my Steam Deck when I have a moment, when I'm waiting for stuff or I'm on break at work. And the Steam Deck is very good. Again, it does. I think that telling someone to get it without telling them that sometimes you got to do a little bit of fixing to get a game to work is disingenuous. So you should know that occasionally you might have to Google, how do I get this game to work? And then some games just don't work right. Like I tried getting Mafia 3 to work right, and it would not. And sometimes the prompts for buttons are just weird and wrong. And that's the problem too. But like Final Fantasy VII works great. Remake. It looks beautiful. Have you tried that, Jim? Final Fantasy VII Remake, I think might be.
I have not. I don't own that on Steam.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got it through. I've been messing around with the Steam Family Pass, and have a couple of my friends on that. I'm gonna add my brother to it. He's just figuring out how to get a Steam account and stuff. So then he can have access to all sorts of games, like Julio and Teddy and my libraries all combined. There's like 1,000 games on there.
That's right. You tried to add us to your family, but international
work.
law wouldn't allow it.
Yeah,
I know, that's sad.
Teddy had to convert his account to Canada to get on
No
there. 'Cause
Steam
he
green card marriages.
No, there is, because he's from Washington, remember?
I didn't remember that.
He is an American. He's not a Canadian.
Yet.
Just like you.
Yet.
Mm-hmm. So I've been playing... Yeah, I've been sort of just going from game to game. I played some more Resident Evil 2, the remake. That game is so gory. It's so gory. Have any of you... Jim, you've played Resident Evil 2 on the remake, right?
The remake? Oh, yeah. I just played it for the first time a few weeks ago.
It looks great on the Steam Deck, but
It looks
so
fantastic.
gory. Like,
It's super gory.
is it gorier than 7, do you think? Because 7 has more like fantasy violence.
7's more like visceral, I think, just from the first person perspective.
Right.
A little more intense, but I would say that there's more like inherent tension in Resident Evil 2.
I think that
Maybe it's a setting.
I would say the opposite, which is that I think 7, particularly the first few hours, has a real like horror movie realism to it, whereas 2 is the more like fantasy violence.
Okay.
I can see that.
It's just, I guess you see more like flesh ripping and entrails and
Ew.
stuff in
Yuck.
2. And
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I find that stuff pretty grody. Anyway, that's it. We're done, right? Everyone's gone?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Matt, sing us into the quest log.
Quest log. That's it. That's the whole song.
Now sing. You know.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, I just want to prepare our listeners in advance. I know nobody likes it when we get all super negative and stuff, but I fucking hated this chunker of this game. There were parts of this chunker where I was playing it and I was saying to myself, this might be the worst game I've ever played in my fucking life.
But
this might be one of the worst games I've ever played in my fucking life.
This is
and then it occasionally would be like, catchy, and I'd be like, I love this guy.
Chunker. I loved this chunker. Everything about it was perfect and magical.
You know, I said this to Jim already, but I feel like it might be more of a pacing issue than anything else. Like going into the game, leading up to the game, I was very excited about going to see the new Golden Saucer and the whole Golden Saucer section. And by the time we got there, I was so burned out on forced side quests and the game making me walk as slowly as possible constantly so that it could force me to, I don't know, watch the movie and not the game, that when it finally happened, I was like, I hate this. And in fact, I'm going to say now, just so that our listeners are aware, I have given up on trying to 100% anything in this game. I don't fucking care. These mini games that it forces me to play get one fucking try out of me. And that is it. That's it. Fuck you. Get out of my face with this shit.
I don't believe this. I think that next week you're going to be like, guys, I went back to the Golden Saucer, it rules.
Two things. One, post this episode, I have been playing ahead a little bit, and it's gotten back to what I like about the game, and I'm enjoying it again. I was playing it this morning at 7 a.m. for no good fucking reason. Like, I like it when the game lets me go wander around the world and play the game. So, and I did think to myself, like, maybe I'll go back to the Golden Saucer at some point when I'm more in the mood for it and try out some of this stuff again, and maybe I'll like it more. But as far as this chunker and this point in the story are concerned, I was fucking livid, and I hated this chunker. I hated it.
I dislike how all these big areas, although with Golden Saucer it makes sense, all these big areas feel like malls. Malls with like guides everywhere telling you what to do and being like, welcome to Costa del Sol, welcome to Junon Mall, welcome. I mean, with Golden Saucer it was always a mall, it was always Disneyland. That makes sense. But the other place, I feel like 3 malls in a row is too many malls.
I feel like you might have a different definition of the word mall than we have.
Canadian malls.
I understand what
Everybody's
Johnny's
really
saying.
helpful.
That
It
is,
doesn't
it's
feel
like
gritty and real.
it's a sterile commercial environments with like
that's
activities.
life under Shinra, Johnny.
But that's also Costa del Sol too. That's like a resort city.
Yeah.
It just felt more sterile in this than in Final Fantasy VII, where it seemed like kind of like Johnny's hotel made more sense in the original Final Fantasy VII version, even though it's not in there, than in this
Yeah,
place.
I was going to say, what are you talking about?
I just felt I'm starting to feel like A, the developers of this game don't want to fucking make the actual game, and B, they hate us. They hate the fucking play. They hate us.
They're trying to just add fun stuff and flesh it out.
They want this to be a movie. They want to make a movie. Make a fucking movie,
But
then, gang. Make a movie.
I like the movie parts. I like when the story moves on, and it does finally move on at the end of this chapter.
Yeah, the very end wasn't terrible.
Matt, if the people at Square Enix made a movie where every character was CGI, would that be the end of actors?
Yeah,
I mean, let's hope.
Aki is basically, she's a virtual actress. She was in Maxim magazine, right?
She was a cover girl, I think.
What was that like virtual singer who did a show at Coachella and then everyone was mad because she wasn't a hologram, she was just
Poppy?
a screen?
Not Poppy. Hatsune Miku?
Yeah, that's the one, maybe.
Is Hatsune Miku like a somebody?
Hatsune Miku is like
a real?
No, it's a Vocaloid.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's a Vocaloid?
It's like a fake
I don't know that word.
AI voiced singer.
I don't really even think it's AI, but it is.
Well,
like
it is
a digital singer. You can
Yeah.
you can program it to sing songs.
Oh, so it's not like the Gorillas where it's like a fake band made by a real person.
Hatsune Miku is like a band, not a band, but is like a performer, quote unquote. They animate her and they, program the songs, and somebody must be writing the fucking music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's like albums and stuff.
And there's a hologram that tours around.
Yeah,
for the North America
my
my
version-
daughter
nephew-
would fucking love to see that.
Yeah, my
Well, they
sister and my
didn't send
nephew
the
went to go
hologram
see.
to North America, though. That's the
Yeah, they did.
controversy. They just sold. No,
I
they
thought-
just sent a big
Oh.
screen. That's why everyone's mad. They just sent a
okay.
big LED
I
screen.
mean, isn't that is lame? But isn't that basically what the Gorillas do? Like they
Yes, it
drop
is.
a big screen
Yeah.
and there is a band playing behind it. But
But people love Damon Albarn.
I love David Albarn and I love
Except for the
Gorillas.
people
I think
at
they're
Coachella.
fucking fantastic.
He had a notoriously terrible set at Coachella where the crowd was just not into it
Aw.
last week.
Has
like
anyone ever had
Blur
a good Coachella
and
set? I
Gorillaz.
guess Beyonce. Mm-hmm. It seems like
Has
I only hear
anyone
about the bad
have you
ones.
listened to her country album? I like
Nah.
that Texas Hold'em song's pretty fun.
the only one I've
Country
heard.
is garbage, and it angers me that it kind of makes me mad. It doesn't. Listen, don't take that the wrong way. It doesn't make me mad that Beyonce, a black woman, made a country album. I think that's perfectly fucking fine and valid, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just makes me mad that country is a thing. I fucking hate country music.
Country
modern
is
country
apparently
music.
like tearing up the charts in the UK.
It has
It's
been
like-
for years. Oh, in the UK?
Yeah.
Gross.
Hey,
It is,
let's
I
talk
see it.
about the golden saucer.
The intro to the so you get to the Golden Saucer and it's like, oh, we're at the Golden Saucer.
Well,
and
excuse
the
me, but
little
also
rail car
Does
stops.
the
If
same
we-
fucking thing they did at Coastal del Sol, where the girls are like, but we want to have fun though.
But if Free and Shiva fly past you and Shiva blows you like an icy little kiss, oh
Yeah, they're like
it's
holograms.
so cool.
They're not. They're like holograms.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
Hatsune Mikus.
Yeah,
Yes.
Everyone is
but-
delighted to be there except for Cloud, who has no joy in his heart.
That's a pretty common trauma response, Vanessa. I don't know
Yeah,
about
and I
your-
guess Barrett is pretty like neutral about the whole thing too. Presumably because he's been there a lot. Because he grew up
No,
next to it.
because he thinks it's a big old waste of money and he hates seeing the lifeblood of the planet being drawn out to power this crap. He
Well, and also
specifically says
he
that.
just went through some shit at
Yeah, he
Corel
also
where they were like
had some
spitting
trauma.
on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's Disneyland. Have some fun.
It's-
Come on.
If this is Disneyland, it's a real shit version of Disneyland.
What's Disneyland's carbon output? Vanessa. You ever think about that?
Actually, in Epcot, they have Living with the Land where they grow their own plants, so it's basically carbon neutral.
I'm sure. So you
So,
get there.
Those plants are probably
And
holograms.
The best, maybe the best scene in the whole game happens as soon as you step off the.
Best scene in the whole game so far.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so far.
Best scene maybe in any game so far.
All right, just want to give the alternate opinion. Maybe 5 minutes of excruciating nonsense where you just kind of want to bang your head against the wall and you just kind of end up staring at your phone and waiting for the bullshit to end.
What?
You know, Matt is kind of like Matt is reacting to the Golden Saucer the way Cloud reacted to the Golden
yeah.
Saucer.
Okay,
Matt is-
I guess I'm fucking traumatized. What do you want from me? I didn't fucking like it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I did.
Okay, the girls, they see some dancing and decide to just join in, which I don't think you're allowed to do.
Well, they sort of muscle their way to the front, and then that's when we get our first glimpse of the best character in the game, Kate Sith.
Kate Sith!
Kate
I do
Sith!
agree with that. I 100% agree with that.
He comes,
Every time that cat's on screen, I'm like, hello!
Mhm. He comes bouncing out on his Moogle. He
Yay!
uses
Kate
his
Sis
cat
Moogle is my
magic
favorite
to-
character.
He uses his cat magic to do magical girl transformation on Yuffie.
Yeah.
Dresses her in a little cute dress, and she has a fan. And then the dancers pull her up onto stage, and she immediately begins doing a choreographed fan dance.
Yeah.
Which Tifa.
And then there's a dance battle.
Yeah, Tifa and Aerith then join in, and then Andre from the first game shows up with a bunch of men in tuxedos.
I put a screenshot in the chat.
Yeah.
There's Andrea Rodea shows up and does a very sexy groin-oriented dance with his dance troupe.
And he, I guess, attempts to dance battle them, but they kick his ass at dance battle. And he graciously concedes the stage to them. They continue to dance until they're interrupted by the arrival of the, I guess, CEO of the Golden Saucer.
Oh my
Dio.
God. Can we be very clear on how this scene plays out? It is like a wrestler rolls up
In a big cape.
some like shorts and a cape and he's
Shorts, those
he's-
are briefs.
Those
He's-
are
okay, briefs?
yeah. Or trunks.
He's a
You can call them
big,
trunks.
beefy
Yeah.
boy. He's real hairy. I'm surprised Johnny made it onto this episode, frankly, because let's be honest, I know we can all imagine what Johnny's reaction was. But
Well, except for his face, where he
rolls
does
up
look
and he-
like a carnival lead.
yeah,
ringmaster.
the mustache and the haircut ain't working for him. But he
I
does.
bet John's reaction rhymes with bog banking.
Flexing the whole time.
He's
Yuffie
flexing the
loses
whole
her
time.
mind. She thinks
He looks like a carny.
Yuffie, like,
Yuffie has her
immediately
first sexual
starts
awakening.
fainting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this what I'm into? He does look like her father, though, which is a little.
And this
well,
is,
you know,
this
it
is,
happens.
This to me is all fine until he's like, I'm the manager and owner of the Golden Saucer, and I was like, what? What are you talking about?
You know, he actually has a butt and a bulge. He has the giantest
He's-
nuts.
He has the front nut and the back nut.
Is he a squirrel? Is that what you're saying? I don't understand the reference.
Trying to find a
it's
nut.
sort of like, you know how Mickey Mouse is like the mayor of Disneyland? That's what
Yeah.
Dio is.
Okay,
No,
but it's not.
yeah, that's a good
it's
way to
not
describe
because
it.
Mickey Mouse is not actually the mayor of Disneyland, and Dio actually does seem to be the fucking CEO of Golden Saucer.
So he also has a
boy.
groin focused backup dancers who do pelvic thrusts.
Yeah, they
when-
start thrusting into the
Yeah.
air.
I felt like at this point in the game, I felt like the developers of this game had learned the wrong lesson from Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is everybody loved the honeybee in section, myself
We
included.
did.
And they were like, let's do 100 of those in this one. And I just don't appreciate it. Like,
Do you think there's diminishing
too
returns?
much. Yeah, for sure. Well, and not just oversaturation, but also nothing in this game has been as good as that fucking honeybee end scene. Nothing.
I think this
Well,
one's pretty fun.
As Dio is rolling out, he catches a glimpse of Cloud, and like everyone else in this game, immediately wants to fuck him.
Yeah.
And he points to
Yep.
Cloud, and he's like, there he is. That's my guy. I am all about this guy. I have to battle him.
We do have to, like, there's some context there, which is that I think technically Cloud has, like, glowy green eyes that indicate that he is a soldier.
Yes.
So people see that, particularly, like, men that are real interested in, I don't know, fighting or whatever, and
Showing
they
their
immediately
toughness.
see him. Yeah, they immediately see him, and he's a mark for them. So it does make some degree of sense, even though I don't think that his eyes are glowy green enough in this game for it to make a lot of sense. Like, why don't they
Yeah.
glow?
It's like when carnies, when you're walking by their games at like fairgrounds and you have a date with you, they'll be like, "Oh, you want to win a stuffed animal
Yes.
for your date?" And they goad you into playing the game.
No.
Yeah,
Aw.
yes, very much that's what it is. Except instead of wanting to rip you off, they want to test their mettle against you, I guess.
Test your might.
Is
Yeah.
one explanation. The other explanation is that he is the prettiest twink in all the kingdom, and everybody
That's
wants
fair,
to
too.
sleep with him.
That's fair too. I mean, he's so fucking attractive that whole crowds of people couldn't tell that he was a man when he dressed up as a woman. And not because his drag outfit was so good, because it's not like he had great drag makeup on or anything. He just...
He's a
Who
Dave
does-
He's
Bowie
androgynous. He's David Bowie. I wish they would lean into that more, to be honest with you.
He's got a couple of, I guess, for Twink competitors, Twink-Petitors. He's got who's the guy with the hat from who worked for Don Corneo? He's up there, I think, is like
Leslie.
pretty Twink.
Leslie.
Yeah, Leslie.
I'm so glad he hasn't shown back up in this game yet.
He
and
will.
if he does, I
He
don't
will.
want to know.
I don't
and
know
when
about
he
this
does,
game.
I will fucking punch all of you in the face.
I bet he will in the third game. That's my
Except
guess.
for Vanessa, who I will punch in the tits because we've already discussed how that's
Yeah,
open
That's
season.
true.
Open
and
season
then-
on them.
wasn't there-
I'm sorry, that was before she broke her ankle. That was before she broke her ankle. Now I'll punch her in the ankle.
Yeah,
Wasn't there also a Twink with glasses at the headquarters of the Wutai Resistance in Midgar? I feel like that's the only other Twink in the game.
I don't remember that
very
guy.
well.
Well,
It was-
anyway,
he was
Cloud
in the
Talking about like
basement.
Yuffie's little crowd.
I do remember a guy. I think I
Yeah.
do. I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know
Yeah.
that I would have thought of him as a twink. But then
Cloud's
again, I'm not
pulled
gay, and
in-
I don't actually know what twink is.
Don't
Just
worry
kind of
about it.
handsome boy, slim
Yeah,
boy.
skinny, slim, handsome boy.
Cloud is pulled into
So
a
like me
battle,
is what
which
you're
is-
saying.
Yeah, like you. Cloud's battle
The
is
joke there is that I'm very fat.
virtual. So
Yes, this did make me laugh. Is that he does approach Cloud like we're going to battle, and then they get on like a platform, and then it's just like the stupidest fucking video game you've ever played.
Yeah,
It's
it's
basically
Rock'em Sock'em
Punch-Out.
robots
Yeah,
for
it
idiots.
is.
If you like
Like
Punch
a lot of the
Out-
games in this, like a lot of the games in this game, like a lot of the mini games in this game, the game is designed so that the player character always has a very obvious advantage. It's like
I failed.
you have to
failed this.
dodge their hits or you have to attack them when
can't.
their arm drops. But have you noticed that your arms never drop for a hit?
Matt, I lost.
Okay, listen, Johnny. I get it. Games are tough, and it's fine. And I'm not going to give you shit about this.
Thank you.
Even though I definitely did not lose this easy game.
I'm not good at this, like reflexes. I kept punching the wrong side when he dropped the arm. I'm just not good at this part. That's all.
I
Did
bet
you win
did
it,
great
Vanessa?
at Galaxy Rangers.
I did. Vanessa, did you win against Dio?
I did, Johnny.
Oh.
Yeah, Vanessa's good at video games, John.
Jim, did you beat Dio on the first try?
I did.
God damn it!
It's pretty easy.
Jeez. I get flustered. I'm like, oh, I don't. Which arm?
Well,
They
you were
do
probably-
use the polygon animation, the polygon not sprite, polygon
chunky
model
models.
of the chunky polygon cloud again, which I fucking adore. It really, and listen, I'm not saying that it should be like this, but if the whole game looked like this, I think I would be in love with it. I'm not saying they should, like that's modern graphics, you gotta realize, blah, 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 but I think I like this
I like
better.
that voice.
Okay,
No graphic for
I'm not strong bad.
That's Homestar. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. What's the difference? I don't know.
So,
Different
Jim, what
characters.
happens after this glorious introduction?
Well, when we beat Dio, he gives us a golden passport.
No, he gives you
Which I guess-
one golden ticket, right?
Yeah, which I guess lets you go to whatever attraction you want to. I don't know that it really
No,
explains
because
what this
John
thing
didn't
is.
win, so
Yeah, I
he just
still
gives
got-
you one golden ticket.
I still got a golden ticket. He's like, well,
got a
you
golden
tried your
ticket.
best.
Golden ticket's like a park pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
can
must
go
be
wherever
it.
you want.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's
Okay,
like getting
I didn't
in,
realize
you
that.
know, inside Disneyland. You need to get a ticket to get inside Disney.
Yeah, you got to have the
Yeah.
Mickey bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's more black robes around here. Cloud sees one.
I mean, it costs you
and
$300
sees
to
Sephiroth
get
again.
into the fucking park, but once you get into the park, then you need to shell out, what, $20 per Mickey ticket so you can ride the rides? Because it's
No.
a scam!
That's not how it works.
That's
You can-
only if you want to skip the line.
Oh, okay.
And
And
you
they
know,
keep all the businesses outside the park, don't they? So that
I don't
anyone
know.
Oh
can
yeah,
go?
hold on. This is my favorite segment where we talk about the dynamics of
Disney
theme parks.
businesses.
Yeah. What do you think Disney's margins are on their tickets?
Oh,
guys?
that's a good question. What's their carbon output again? We were talking about that before. So Cloud and Barrett don't want to get involved in the hijinks, so they decide to go off. I thought this meant that I got on the.
Cloud has a little freak out.
I thought
right
this meant
here.
I was going on a date with Barrett.
I thought it did too. I was like, oh my gosh, I get to date Barrett, but no, that's not what happened.
No, they have a little freak out. Barrett's complaining about the Mako usage and the carbon footprint.
yeah,
and
Cloud is
they-
overstimulated.
I thought I saw this spooky hotel and I was like, Vanessa would love this spooky hotel. She wouldn't be scared.
No, I would love it. I absolutely
Mm-hmm.
would love it. I have often fantasized about owning a like haunted hotel, not actually quote unquote haunted, but like special effects haunted.
Vanessa, is that a concern for you that you might buy a hotel and it's actually IRL haunted? Is that something that keeps you up at night?
Hey. We do not disparage Vanessa's absurd beliefs, okay?
As long as she knows they're ghosts, she'd be okay, I thought.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I can't imagine trying to sleep in this hotel where there's constant knocking on the walls and stuff. Like, I would be in my hotel room for 5 minutes before I fucking went downstairs and was like, if you don't shut this fucking noise off, I'll break your goddamn head open.
Yeah, I've had that conundrum in thinking about how my hotel will work. I think I've determined that you can't actually have any effects inside the room. It would have to
What?
be just
I mean-
in the shared areas.
The first way your hotel would work is that you would boil your burgers.
Yeah.
Of course.
Well, it's faster.
I think there are two main things you need to have in a quote unquote like theme park haunted hotel room. One, you need to have a spooky skeleton in the closet, and 3, there needs to be a toilet monster that jumps out at your butt when you go to sit down.
and
what
what
was
was
2?
I said 2.
No.
1 was a skeleton.
Yeah.
There needs to
And
be a spooky
3.
skeleton. Oh, I'm sorry. 1, spooky skeleton. 2, toilet surprise monster.
Oh, okay.
Those are the 2 must-haves.
And
I
3,
love-
a humidifier
3,
that
spooky
walks around.
So what
And
was your
3, a terrifying humidifier.
what was your favorite spooky ooky fright, Vanessa? Was it the concierge being bound
Yes.
up above the desk?
Yes, I loved
Or
him.
a Tonberry attack robot in your room?
I did like that the room came with a humidifier, so you can adjust the humidity in your room, and that's pretty sophisticated.
Do you guys remember the concierge from the original game who was like a guy hanging from a noose that fell down?
Right.
I wonder if they wireframed that and animated it and were like, God, this is
This is
little
bleak.
too much.
Yeah.
I bet that would have
I think
changed the
that
rating.
hanging deaths in Japan are a touchy topic these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
There was-
mass shootings apparently not. We'll talk about that in a moment.
Yeah,
I
I
guess you're
loved
right.
the bellhop, or I'm sorry, the front desk man. He's super cute. He's bound up in a straitjacket and
just the way Vanessa
wrappings.
likes him.
And he's acrobatic. He can hang upside down for a long time. He's great. We try to check in and are told that there are no rooms at the inn. Get out of here. Everything's
And
all
Barrett
booked up.
is pregnant with Cloud is pregnant with Barrett's baby.
Yeah. I was a little confused about how that worked, since this park, is a
Oh, well,
destination.
sometimes it's called Mpreg, and
Right. Well, I mean, presumably when you go to the Golden Saucer, wouldn't you think that your accommodation would be included with your admission, because you're a captive audience? But maybe there are
it's not at
tourists
Disney.
who go there.
yeah,
It's not at Disney.
It's not at Disney. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, but there aren't any alternatives, but regardless,
There could be alternatives. We've never seen Wu Tai.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could go stay in what's it called? In Barrett's shit town for the night.
Wow.
Yeah, or you can go sleep in Coral Prison.
Yeah. So we're told there's no room, but then who should come to our rescue but Kate Sith himself?
Yay!
Barrett
Now,
and Cloud have
we
already
thought
kind
he'd
of
be
decided
pronounced-
that they hate Kate Sith.
We thought it was going to be Ket Shi, but he's Scottish voice actor, and he's saying Kate Sith.
Yeah.
He does say Kate Sith.
We did have a whole conversation about this the other day, which is, I'm sure we discussed it the last time we did Final Fantasy VII.
I think
But-
we did.
Cat Chi is a Scottish and Irish. It's a Celtic mythology.
Spirit
It's a black
thing.
cat with a white spot
cats.
on its chest. And you would think it is weird to me that they pronounce it Kate Sith, but also, what do I care? Like, it's easier this way.
And the way
But
I
he's
see
also
it,
saying like didn't know, like he's using
Yeah.
like the kind of Scottish.
that was a great Scottish
shorthand.
accent, Jim. Great job.
Yeah.
I remember Vanessa
you.
in particular having maybe the worst Scottish accent, though. Vanessa, how does he talk?
I love it when Vanessa does accents.
Yeah.
It's always super
Accurate.
non-offensive.
Oh, it's me, Kate Sith. Did I know it's me, Kate Sith? How'd you do?
I like it when Barrett does an impression
Wow.
of Kate Sith. I thought that was great.
So Kate Sith, he hops up to the front desk. He's also greeted Cloud and Barrett outside. They don't like him. Just like immediately, they're like, "This puppet sucks. We hate him. We aren't interested in character meet and greets. We don't want to hang out with Kate Sith."
But he does
comes
have a big plushy, wushy, snuggly, wuggly, large chocobo whose eyes do flash.
It's a Moogle.
Moogle, sorry. Moogle, and its eyes do flash red, and then it prints out a fortune.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's super cool, Johnny, but there's no accounting for taste.
I think this game does a great job doing what the original version didn't do, which is making it very clear what's going on here.
Yes.
With the Moogle robot.
Yes,
and
it was
I don't
very
think
confusing
that
in the original game.
I don't think that the party members are supposed to realize that Kate Sith is a robot. I think
Yeah, they
they
are.
think it's just a cat person.
They call him a
They know the
RoboCat.
Moogle. They call it
No,
what?
they don't think he's real.
Yeah, Barrett calls him a RoboCat, and he's like,
Yeah.
a RoboDog, or something
These
like that.
people
Yeah,
aren't insane, Matt. They
He's
know
like
that there's not
RoboCat.
talking cats in their world.
There are talking cats.
Although they're traveling with a talking cat dog.
All right, well, maybe I missed that line. That makes it weirder though, because after this chunker, he does join the party.
Mm-hmm.
So like, they're like, yeah, why would you? They just talk to it like it's a person. Is AI a thing in
Because,
fucking
yeah,
this
Barrett-
world? I'm so
Obviously.
confused.
You
Barrett
met
What do you mean,
Cherry.
obviously?
You met his Dragsona Mio. We know
but
AI.
he's a
is
got me.
cyborg. He's not
You
a
got me.
robot. It's okay,
Yeah, he's
Mio.
a cyborg.
Yeah, Mio. But you're right. Mio is an AI.
It's May, isn't
Or
it?
May.
It's not-
Yeah.
Well,
but
yeah,
Mio's the name of that
Rogue
that
Galaxy.
that hydration drink you squirt in your
No,
water.
Mio
No,
is the
Mio's the
robot
name
from-
of
yeah.
the
Rogue
Mio's
Galaxy.
from
the
Rogue
AI
Galaxy.
in Rogue Galaxy.
No, the hot robot sex slave.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
maybe
liked
I'm wrong.
it when Kate Sith was like, I liked it when Kate Sith is like, I'm going to travel with you. They're like, you know what? Maybe we do need a theme park employee.
Yeah.
You're like, well, you're just
To
a
come with us.
Shinra RoboDog, and he's
Yeah,
like,
he's an
Shinra
animatronic.
RoboCat.
Yeah.
So when they're trying to check in, Kate Sith hops up to the desk and he's like, "Oh, maybe I should check your reservations again, milady." And
You do see him like hack on an iPad for a second.
yeah,
too.
he hacks into the system, and suddenly the presidential suite is available.
Which does come with a humidifier and is amazing.
It is amazing. It has a humidifier. It has books that fly off the shelves. It has all kinds of spooky surprises.
The Tonberry, like the shock when you open the door and the Tonberry's coming at you is so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Well, and also it vacillates between adjusting room humidity and retribution will occur.
Yep. Meanwhile, the worst character in the game, Palmer, shows up, and it looks like Ketchi/Kate Sith has unbooked his rooms, and Palmer is very upset about it.
Palmer seems like the closest that any character in the game is from looking from their
Original
updated
model?
models and their
Yeah.
original models looking almost exactly the
Dio's
same.
pretty close too. Dio has a little bit of mucky.
Dio is pretty close.
From the original game. He's got a little splash of mucky. But yeah, Palmer is exact. And I was very offended when Jim said that I was into Palmer.
You're like, there are no like chubby boys in here. I was like, Palmer's good. Palmer's a little chubby. He drinks butter in his coffee.
He's no. If I'm gonna go for one of the evil ones, I'd go for Heidegger. But he's so evil.
Yeah, good point.
Oh, yeah.
So evil.
But yeah, so you get your room, you have a little nap because you're feeling tiredy-wiredy while Barrett goes on a walk, not to have fun, just to clear his head. He's not going to have any fun while he's there. However, yeah, that's when you get the little cutscene of Palmer trying to figure out who stole his rooms. That doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it's real dumb.
Nope, does not go anywhere.
Just a real fucking waste of time. I heard that maybe, is it Elena, the new Reno's new partner?
Rude's.
Yeah,
Rude, sorry.
Reno
Rude, yeah,
hasn't
no,
been
I heard-
in this game.
Yes, I heard that that's...
No Reno
I
yet.
think I heard that the voice actor got like canceled or something, and so they were like...
He died.
Oh, he died.
Oh,
The
gosh,
ultimate
he died.
cancellation.
Canceled by God.
God canceled him. Oh man. We'll see if that makes it
Yeah,
in.
see how you feel. I'm fine. You know
It
what? I
should.
stand by my words. Oh, sorry. My regards to his family. So Vanessa, what happens when
Do
Cloud
you think
has
they're
a
listening,
little...
John?
They might be.
They're not.
Oh. So Vanessa, what happens when Cloud has his little nappy wappy?
He has his nappy wappy, and then
Some nighttime emulsions.
He has some nighttime emulsions. He wakes up to a gentle knocking at his door, and
Aren't you missing
A
something?
gentle
I
rapping
missing
at his
something?
chamber door.
well, then
doesn't
you
he-
tell
We
me
get a
what
little
happens.
quick cut to Zach here.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cloud
fuck.
sees through his own
but we're
eyes.
seeing Zach from Cloud's POV.
I assume he's in a
We get
wheelchair.
some Cloud cam.
I assume he's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. We get some Cloud cam, and Zach is walking around. I had trouble figuring out what to do.
Yeah, I
here.
didn't realize I was controlling Zach at first.
Me either.
But yeah, Zach is checking in on Aerith. He's looking at some books. You have to like look at 3 different things. You have to check in on Cloud.
Yeah.
And he's talking to Cloud as if Cloud is listening to him. And then he goes downstairs and you finally get to see Marlene.
And whoa, it's Marlene. Marlene, a very usually kids in video games don't look like kids. They look like weird little adults. She looks like a kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which-
You're right. And I think we
Yeah.
said this during Remake. She really does she looks a lot like a friend of mine's daughter at that age. It's kind of shocking. Like
I also said that during Bayonetta about
Yes.
what was her name?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever her name
Bayonetta, that's a good kid.
this kid does look like a kid, which is, I mean, I don't know, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's like, everyone leaves me. My daddy's dead. All my friends are dead. No one comes back. She's pretty traumatized, the poor kid. And Elmira mentions, and I think this happened last chapter too. She's like, oh yeah, the world's ending. And you go outside and there's just like rips. It looks like enough time has passed that we're at sort of towards the end of Final Fantasy VII Original, where the meteor is about to hit Midgar, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what's going on. It's not really clear.
There's a time
this point.
skip. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really tell you, but like you see a big, like what do you call it? Like a tear in the sky.
Yeah, like in Dragon
which
Age.
does not look like meteor to me.
But they mention the meteor.
Like I don't remember that happening.
They mention it.
Do they?
Yeah, I think they say that a meteor's, or maybe they do. I thought someone mentioned something about a meteor coming to hit the planet. That's why everyone thinks that the world's going to end.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Let's go back and check the tape on that one.
Yeah,
Cool.
Vanessa.
I hope that's the case. I hope that all of this Zack stuff is just 2 minutes at a time, and at the end of the game, it's just like, and then the planet exploded. Just wasted your whole fucking life.
That would be so disappointing. Oh boy. Yeah, because he steps outside.
Every time we cut to Zack, it's so disappointing because it
Yes,
does
you're right.
nothing. It does nothing to further the game's plot. It does nothing to further its own plot.
Yeah, the little
It's
Zack
just-
side plot.
It's nothing.
But so
It's-
he says that he's going to that he thinks Biggs might still be alive, and so he's going to find Biggs, even though Wedge and Jesse are super dead because he has these pictures of them. And
Well,
then it just
what if he tries
goes
to find
back-
Smalls instead?
Biggie Smalls?
Yeah.
Hi, girl.
He's definitely dead.
Then that's when hearing Zach's voice again saying he's going to find Biggs, Cloud wakes up to the knocking at the door.
Rapping at my chamber door.
The Raven? it's
Zach,
not the Raven.
Cloud and Zach, in a way, it feels like Cloud is dreaming about Zach.
Yeah. And
Or
your
maybe,
dreams
like-
are just looking at alternate realities.
Yeah.
Isn't there a movie with that conceit where like every time a guy sleeps, he's actually controlling somebody else?
Nightmare on Elm Street?
That's what Wanda said in the latest Doctor Strange movie. She
Ooh,
said
you're
that
right.
dreams were just views of alternate realities.
If that's true, then my alternate realities are fucking stupid.
Then why was I dreaming about an episode of Sex in the City?
And I also can't get a girlfriend in alternate realities, which is depressing.
I was dreaming about an episode of Sex and the City where they were stealing, where Sarah Jessica Parker was stealing Da Things' gimmick, and then Da Things came in to give her a lawsuit, a cease and desist lawsuit.
I guess that episode happened in an alternate reality.
Huh, weird. Who would watch that?
Alternate.
Well, in the
people.
alternate reality, Sarah Jessica Parker is real and not just an AI creation
Right.
to get women and gay people to buy
Cosmetics.
clothes?
I think
Cosmetics.
she's...
Jimmy
yeah.
Choos.
Yeah.
Jimmy
what those?
shoes?
Jimmy Choos.
What are those?
Kind of. They should just call him Jimmy
Louis
Shoes.
Vuitton or something? Is it Louis Vuitton? No. What's the Les Vuitton?
Louis Vuitton?
Le Vuitton? What are the shoes that she's obsessed with?
Leviton.
Jimmy Choos.
Is it? Oh, okay. Strappy
Yes.
sandals. All right. So, Vanessa, who's at the door?
Yeah,
I guess it
Well,
depends.
it depends.
It does depend. Yeah. Not
Or maybe-
Barrett for me.
Who's at the door
and
for you? Vanessa.
I'm sad.
Aerith.
Who's at the door for you? Johnny.
Barrett?
No.
It was Aerith. It was Aerith.
Did you have a higher relationship score with Barrett than Aerith?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think if
Jimmy.
you tried, then Barrett would come.
I mean, that's a great question. I don't know if it's true. Jim, who was at the door for you?
It was Aerith for me.
All right.
Matt?
Well,
Matt,
I went
who's
on a
that?
date with Tifa.
What? Oh Oh shit!
Ooh.
That's right.
Whoa! And Jim.
Wow, I
thought
really wanna
he
know if
was
Aerith holds your
Tifa's
hand.
boyfriend.
Does Aerith
No, I
hold
didn't-
your hand?
No, not really.
I can't
think
remember
so.
that.
Wow.
Yeah, she doesn't. No.
Tifa does. She's into me.
Does she have lots of fun things to say as you explored all the wonders and all the
Not really,
squares?
because it's basically just her following you around a fucking arcade, because you guys keep calling it an amusement park, and it's not. It's an amusement park-sized arcade. And
Well, there's a Ferris wheel, but you can't.
there is a Ferris wheel.
I didn't go
that
on
does
it.
not an
There's a
amusement
stage
park
show.
make.
Yeah, there's a stage show.
There is a stage show.
There's a theater.
There's Space Blasters.
I
That's
I
kind
thought
of a
Loveless
ride.
was a singer, but Loveless is a stage show.
Yeah, it seems to be.
Yeah, it's like Will You Be My Canary from Final Fantasy IX.
And I guess Jessie got famous enough to have her portrait up on one of the hallways near the stage show.
Yeah,
didn't
we
think-
knew. We knew
I knew
that
she was
She was
there.
a Loveless
performed here.
cast member.
I didn't realize that
Yeah.
she was big enough to have like a big old portrait. You know, I thought she was.
Yeah,
just
it's
like
weird that she went from that to living in the slums in Midgar, being a terrorist.
Well, didn't something
That's
happen to her?
classic Hollywood story, bro.
Oh, right, the dad
All
stuff
of them
happened.
liberals in Hollywood
Yeah,
are
what-
terrorists, and that's why we
Her
all
dad got-
support President
yeah.
Trump.
I think she's
Her
more
dad got
like
Mako
a
poisoning.
she's more like a Kevin Sorbo kind of character.
President
who,
Shinra.
you know, she came out with her politics and then was canceled by mainstream Shinra.
Yeah.
Right,
That's a
makes
good point.
sense.
That's why I think President Shinra should have presidential immunity. And if he wants to assassinate his political rivals, as long as he's doing it under the auspices of the presidency, that's acceptable.
No, I mean, we can all agree that the American Revolution was a mistake.
That
and we
Biden
just
should
have a
assassinate
monarch.
the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea at the time, but in retrospect, maybe it wasn't a good idea to establish America.
I think that where all of this is going is we're just going to go home to King Charles and be like, "Daddy, please be king again." And
He's like, I'm sick. I don't feel well. I have cancer.
yeah, we'll be like, "What about William?" And he'll be like, "My wife has cancer."
Is there like some kind of weird radioactive paint or something at Buckingham Palace? Is that what's going on?
No, I think it's just that cancer
I
can
guess
affect
cancer's
anyone
common.
at any time.
Yeah.
Get your checkups, scooters.
It's true. Well, that's a bummer. What are Vanessa? We'll just do a mini game corner here. Were there any mini games you played that you really liked?
No. I didn't
Oh.
really like any of them. I guess I was most successful at Space Blaster,
That one's
which
pretty easy.
I didn't think I'd be good at it, but it turned out it was really easy, so that made me happy. And then what else is there? I was really sad
There's
that there wasn't
boxing.
like Meta-Moogle, like there was in the original one.
I was still I
boxing-
couldn't finish boxing. I still couldn't get past Tio because I am terrible.
Yeah,
like that
boxing.
minigame.
I only got a couple. I couldn't get past the fat Moogle. There's my least favorite mini
Oh,
game.
I beat that Moogle.
I refuse to fight Dio a second time.
There's my least favorite mini game from the first game, Motorcycle Combat.
Ooh, I did get the full points for that one.
Can we roll it back here? I want to talk about how Galaxy Rangers is just Star Fox. They just put a Star Fox game
I thought
in
it was
this
just
game.
Gummy Ship. From
It is kind of just gummy shit.
Yeah, I
Yep.
guess, but Gummy Ship is just Star Fox. That's what
Yeah,
Gummy
it's
Ship
true.
is.
Yeah.
Well, surely Star Fox is just something. Star Fox wasn't the first space sim
It's-
game.
no, but
I mean,
Star
there was
Fox
like
is
TIE
kind of
Fighter.
yeah. There were other, but that's not a sim. Star Fox is like a shooter. It's kind of a little bit of
Star
Space
Fox is an
Harrier
arcade shooter,
and-
and the
yeah.
like TIE Fighter and stuff like that are
are
sims.
sims. Yeah, Wing Commander and all that. They're more simmy.
Wing Commander. That's the one I was thinking
Yeah, I
of.
love Wing Commander.
That they made the movie out
Oh,
off
the
of.
movie's so bad.
I've literally never been able to finish that movie. That's how bad it is.
I saw it in
It's terrible.
when we were watching it in theaters. People shouted at the screen, "Play the Star Wars trailer again!"
I think there's a Wing Commander game that has live action Mark Hamill cutscenes in it. Is there?
And
There's
I
two.
think you're right.
There's 2 of them.
yeah, and maybe other people.
There's 2 Wing Commander movies?
Well, no,
No.
there's 2.
Oh.
There's
There's
3
3 Wing Commander
live
games.
action. No, okay, there's more than that, but there's well, okay, so it gets complicated. Wing Commander 3.
All right, so
has
what other
FMV,
games were you guys interested in here?
portions with Mark Hamill, and he's back in Wing Commander 4. Wing Commander Prophecy doesn't have Mark Hamill, but it does have the guy who plays Biff from
No,
Back to the
Matt's
Future.
right. I stopped listening.
And then
So
the
did you
Wing
guys
Commander
play some
Prophecy,
Queen's Blood?
Privateer
Did
2
you do
Prophecy has
the
Clive
arena?
Owen,
Of course, you have to have an
which is
arena.
pretty great. And what's his name? Who's the guy who yells?
Yeah, there's
in
Battle
Flash
Arena,
Gordon?
but
You
can
know, he's got the
only
big
do-
teeth. He always
do-
talks like this. He's
Brian
in that
Blessed.
game. Yeah, Brian Blessed's in that with Clive Owen.
You can only do
Brian
the, like,
Blessed?
duo
You're lucky that
battles.
I am not hosting this Zoom because I would fucking mute Johnny.
You can only do the duo battles, which were kind of irritating for me with just Cloud and Aerith, because I really
Yeah, I couldn't
haven't
do them all.
been using Aerith.
I couldn't. Oh yeah, well, I had Tifa, but I couldn't do them all. Like I got to Quetzalcoatl, and it was too much. And also, these arena battles are real bullshit. Like even the very first one, here's 8 enemies that are all too fast for you to really be able to fight. You have to just zip around. You have to dodge around the fucking arena and just hope that you can hit them.
Oh yeah,
It
and then
sucks.
deflect it with parries. Oh, I loved it. But yeah, after that, they're all way too high
Yeah,
level.
but you can
They're like-
deflect one with a parry, and then the other 7
I was
enemies
like-
attack you.
and Cloud was do. But then the next, like after that first set, they're level 39. I'm like, oh, I'm nowhere near high enough level to do that. So I'll come back later.
I got to Quetzalcoatl, and I got him down to about half health on like my second try, and I was just like, you know what? I don't care. I don't fucking care. Not doing it. I've had enough. I've had enough mini games and bullshit. Is there anything else? Galaxy Rangers,
Matt,
boxing.
If you're tired of minigames right now, this might be the wrong game for you, buddy.
I mean, what do you want me to do about it? I didn't fucking choose it, Jim. Did I? Did I choose a 100-hour game for this fucking podcast? I did tell you to choose it. So.
Our earlier discussion about Manny and Minnie, there are Manny mini games in this game.
Oh,
Well, I
great
mean, my
job,
point is
Jim.
that I've hit the point where I'm not bothering anymore. Like there are parts of this game that I like, and there are big chunks of this game that I don't like, and I've got to try and get through the chunks I don't like. I'm not going to sit there and fucking beat my head against the wall in the arena or the boxing mini game or I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'll give it a shot. And this Golden Saucer, it forces you to do every single one. And then it doesn't let you do the one thing that I was interested in, which is fucking chocobo racing. It's like, no.
It was saving
but
that.
when you do get to
For
do
like
it,
5
Chocobo
minutes.
racing is so fun.
So
And by 5 minutes, you mean like 3 or 4 hours?
3 or 4 hours. Barrett, meanwhile, does see one of the ghost or robed guys, but he's got a gun for an
A
arm.
little gun arm.
Yeah, he gets on an
What?
elevator, and
What-
Barrett's like, whoa,
what up
whoa,
with
what?
that?
And then what happens, nobody knows because the notes end there. So guess what, Jim?
No, we have a little bit
remember.
more.
More stuff
you
happens.
see Barrett. So Barrett follows the mystery guy into where the arena is, and then he sees some dead dudes around. Like this guy has executed some Shinra people, and then Barrett's like, "Oh man, I gotta follow this guy." And then he gets into an elevator, and before he turns around, and you can see his face, the doors start to close, but he drops his robe, and he's like, just a dude with a gun arm.
Gas.
Yeah, we just said that. I mean, we
Yeah.
literally just said that.
Yeah. Well, but he saw the gun arm before he took off the
Yeah,
robe.
he saw the gun arm, and then you see all of him
Yeah.
from the back in the elevator.
We
then
all
who
know
knows
what's
what
coming
happens,
here,
'cause I didn't
and
have time to
obviously
finish
this
the
is a
notes.
big
I can tell
part of the original game. I guess we can wait to talk about it, but good God, this is silly.
Did Sephiroth
I love this
do
part.
this?
This dying stuff really worked for me.
I mean,
So-
some of it works, but some of it's really silly and stupid.
I
I mean, it's two
Opposite
men with
gun
gun arms
arms.
arguing.
Wait,
so
so
it
we're
seems to me like Barrett, when he sees this gun arm guy, he suspects who it is. Like, he's like, oh, it can't be. But as far as I can tell, Barrett has no reason to believe that Dine is A, alive,
Yeah.
or B,
Yep.
has a gun arm.
Yep.
So it's
I
like-
feel like so there's one line of dialogue that's in the original that I don't think is in this one, is when Barrett's giving his big explanation, and he does it later when you run into him in like the Corel Desert. He says, I heard rumors after what happened in Corel that there was another guy with the same prosthetic as me, but on a different arm, but I never found out if it was true or not. He does mention that
Okay.
in the original.
All right.
we're keeping going, right? Or we're not stopping here, are we?
Yeah, no, we're
not
gonna
stopping.
we're
yeah,
going.
We're gonna keep going.
It's just going to be from memory. So then we kill Dine, and that's the end of the chunker. All right. So next time on Square Roots,
I can.
Cloud goes back to have
there's
like
nothing
another...
worth talking about after this. It's
Well,
fine.
you're gonna go on the skyward wheel, but you get there and there's been something's happened.
Yes.
So
For me, when Cloud and Tifa walked into the sky wheel room, Tifa abashedly reaches over and clasps Cloud by the hand. And Cloud looks embarrassed, but holds on. And they hold hands as they approach the sky wheel, which I think means they're going to fuck in that sky wheel.
but then they don't go
Ew,
on
you
the sky
can't.
wheel.
I'm
because
sorry,
There's
are you
cameras.
fucking kidding me
They'll
right now?
Stop the ride.
No one's ever had sex on one of those.
Yeah,
Ferris
what are you
wheels.
talking about, dude?
You know, in 80% of those little pods, somebody's at least getting jacked off.
Yeah, for sure. Or at least finger banged, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine climaxing at the top of that wheel. That would be an experience you'd never forget.
mean,
I definitely
Yeah,
have never
those-
finger banged a girlfriend at the top of a Ferris wheel. Let's move on.
Those benches are covered in so much.
Ew.
Don't call it that.
What the fuck was that? No.
I'm bleeping that.
No, I'm kicking John off the call. I'm kicking him out. He's out. He's gone.
Oh boy. So there's an emergency and they're like, Cloud. I don't know why they thought Cloud could do it. I guess She's like,
It's
Cloud.
it's Kate Shee. It's Kate Sith.
Kate Sith. He's like, Cloud can do this. It's Cloud time. And Cloud's
Yeah,
like,
this
"All right."
little robo cat has a real boner for Cloud, like everybody else we
doesn't?
meet in the game.
So then we go and transport over to Battle Square, I think. Yeah, it's Battle Square. And they're like, someone with a gun arm shot it up. And we're like, everyone's like, could Barrett have really done this? I guess so. I guess our friend Barrett's a murderer. Okay. Well, we should probably...
he hated
definitely
the golden
is.
saucer.
He's murdered a lot of people. They are terrorists. And
This is a
because
Shinra front, so
So
Why
Dio
not?
shows up and he's like, you guys are gonna go, you gotta clear your name because I like you, but I found these posters and it turns out you blew up a reactor. And Tifa's like, but we did kill all these people, but it was actually Shinra that did like the super bomb. Well, I don't know if they know
I mean,
that
it was Shinra that really detonated the reactor.
Yes.
yeah, we
Yes.
tried to
No.
blow up the reactor, but our bomb didn't work, and then Shinra had their own bomb.
Yes.
So really,
Yeah.
In the
worth
Didn't
pointing
do it.
out that at the beginning of this game is not their first bombing.
yeah, that's true.
It's their first like reactor bombing. I think they had bombed other stuff, but not a reactor. Also,
I don't
I
think
think that I think the argument that we tried to murder all those people, but then Shinra did it for us, kind of doesn't hold up.
Yeah, the argument that I feel like the moral like line there that you're supposed to draw is that we bombed it like in the middle of the night when no one was there, quote unquote. But I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys know how reactors work, but typically there's always someone there.
Yeah. Well, and also I think that they didn't think that their bombs would be strong enough to bring the plate down.
Well, yeah, Jesse mentions that in the original, because when that first bomb blows up in the reactor, Jesse has a whole moment where she's like, I didn't think it would do that.
But it didn't bring a plate down. It just blew up a lot of the plate.
The
Well,
thing
that's
that
also
brought the plane down
because-
was Shinra blowing up the column.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
no, but what you're talking about when Jesse's like, I didn't think it would do that, was because Shinra did like set off their
Yes.
own
Yeah. Yeah.
self-destruct, and so she's right. It wasn't going to do that.
But that
was
is a
entirely-
change. That is a change for the
The point
remake
is, they
versus the
are
original.
terrorists, but they're just
Yeah.
like terrorist light. You know,
They're
it's
cool
not that
terrorists.
serious. Yeah,
it doesn't matter. They weren't. Yeah.
they're like the kind
The
of
cops came.
terrorists who
They
like,
said it's fine.
go to labs and free monkeys. You know, it's like, yeah, technically
Yeah.
it's terrorism, but we can all kind of see
And
their
28
point.
days later, that ends the world.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just saying. That releases the rage virus
Yep.
across the United Kingdom.
Yeah. So and then France later.
Yeah, it's true. And in the upcoming remake, wherever that takes place.
Yeah, it's true.
Or upcoming sequel
Yeah.
28 years later.
Yeah,
Which makes me feel like the oldest man in the world.
But it's not. But that movie came out in like 2002, so it's not coming out
yeah,
in
it's not
2030.
actually 28 years
It's
later.
only
Oh,
23
okay. Well.
or something.
Oh, that's way better.
Anyway, so Dio arrests us, and he's like, "You're going down to Coral Prison. You're gonna find your friend, and prove he's."
Does Disney have one of these?
Yeah, Disney has a prison.
Where if you get caught,
Yeah.
do they have like Brig at Disney?
Yeah,
There
it's-
is
but-
a
and
little
it is
brig at
underground.
Disney. Yep.
Yeah,
Really?
it's
Yeah.
in the tunnels.
Little detention center?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a room, like a conference room that
Do
they'll
they,
lock you in.
do they like put you in that cabin from Adam's Family Values where they just make you watch Disney all the time
Yeah.
until you're reformed?
If you
They're like, your attitude hasn't been very magical.
but Jim, Google. I went to Disney jail. There's a lot, and it's not a porn thing, although it might be. But normally, there's a lot of stories about people like getting drunk
Yeah.
at Disney and then going to Disney jail.
Yeah,
All
there's
right,
like
all right,
body
all
cam
right, all
footage
right,
of it and
all
stuff.
right,
It's
all
great.
right, all right. So fucking Barrett sees somebody on an elevator with a gun arm, and then what happens?
No, we're in Corel Prison now.
Yeah. Now we're in Corel Prison.
And they said the only way to get out is to race a chocobo?
Well,
No.
like first you meet Gus, who is
Yeah.
the greatest character.
No.
Oh, Gus. Oh,
First,
my God.
you're slowly walking into Corel Prison, and everybody's like, well, it looks like an ambush. And then you walk out into the open,
Ooh,
and you
fresh fish.
absolutely get ambushed. It's real
Right.
stupid.
And despite the fact that these people have like torn through hundreds of enemies at a time, they're like 6 dudes who show up with guns, just
Yeah,
very
that really
efficiently
aggravated
knock
me.
them out.
Really
I like that they
aggravated
send
the
you
shit
to
out of me.
prison with your weapon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yep.
we have our little trackers on so Dio can keep track of where
Yeah,
we are.
I thought it was like a fortress collar that would like blow up Cloud if he tried to leave.
Yeah, I guess, maybe.
But
So
Oh, that would have been cool.
we regain consciousness and we've been taken hostage by these bandits who live in the remains of this prison. And then we get our second major character introduction for the game, and probably the best character introduction.
New character just dropped.
Yeah. Yep. And we start to hear, "Get down tonight, it's only Gus, it's only Gus.
only
Everyone party, it's Gus. Here comes Gus." And
Gus.
It was
Has a
it
great
was this
song.
character introduction. Like, there's been a few weird ones, but I was like, this game's committed to every side character just being a fucking freak.
Yep.
They're all freaks.
Boy, did I fucking hate this. Boy, did I just fucking hate the shit out of this. Like, I almost threw my controller into my TV.
It's Gus.
I seriously
But all
had
you
a
have
good
to
long
do-
think about, should I just quit the podcast? Should I fucking should I delete this game off my fucking system? Like, what am I doing with my life that I'm watching this?
All you have to
Maybe
do
it's just because
is
we
do some
just
mini
played
games.
Bayonetta, but I'm so fucking burnt out on, like, I don't know how to, I don't want to. I don't want to sound like a racist asshole, guys, but I'm so burned out on like over-the-top Japanese cheesy stuff. I don't know that I can handle anymore.
Matt, we're a classic
know that I
RPG
can keep doing this.
podcast. That's just
We've only got
table
another
stakes
50
for us.
hours.
Okay,
in
it was
this game.
cute when it was sprites. This isn't fucking
It
cute.
was cute 10 years ago when we started the show. It's not cute anymore.
10 years ago when we started the show, it wasn't the fuck thing like this. It was nothing
That's
like
true.
this.
I'd say Rogue Galaxy had some of this, but only like 10% of it.
One of the worst games we've ever played until we played this one? Yeah, no, you're right.
I don't know what you're talking about. Gus is adorable. He has gold chains and a grill.
Oh my god, he does have a grill. Oh.
And a hype man.
Yeah, this doesn't feel racist at all. It does. It feels very racist.
I think Gus was kind of black in the first game.
I don't know. Jim said that he was the boss in the first game.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
some name like the boss. He didn't have, so he's sort of
Listen,
a new
the
character.
name change ain't the problem.
Yeah, the funk music, hang it up.
Oh,
the problem.
hang it up. It is a real hang it up. This scene directed by David Cage.
Hello, my name's David Cage. I solved racism with my last game, Detroit Become Human.
Now
It
we
was a
will explore
metaphor.
Socioeconomic themes with Gus. So Gus explains that he knows who Cloud is, and he...
I mean, everybody does. He's a world-known terrorist. He's basically Osama bin Laden. Everybody knows who he is, which makes it real weird that he's just walking through
Osama
towns
bin Clouden.
and amusement park and amusement parks like it's fine. Everybody sees him like, oh, there's the guy with the giant sword and the spiky hair that murdered a shitload of people. He's a terrorist.
Yep. And Gus explains, I know we actually have Gun Arm Guy, your friend. We have imprisoned him somewhere in the middle of the desert and will happily lead you to him if you ride a chocobo in a chocobo race and win.
Yeah.
Now, this doesn't
he
make any
wants
sense.
money, and he wants you to win him money.
Isn't it multiple races? Don't you have to win the gold cup or something?
No, it's
No,
one.
it's just
one
It's
race.
one
Oh.
race.
Okay.
And
It doesn't
frankly, I
make
think
any
that the game
sense.
makes it very easy on you.
But it is from the original game, so it's totally forgivable.
Yeah.
But this
and
isn't
it does.
it's a crazy choice. Like for Gus, it's a crazy choice. Like if his plan is, okay, I want to win the prize money for this chocobo race. When you think, okay, I'm going to use my resources to like find an experienced chocobo jockey and have them race in the race. No, he's like, I've heard about this terrorist and I think he'll be really good at racing horses.
I still get
can I just-
flashbacks.
Can I just? We actually kind of skipped by a huge part of the game that I really want to talk about. So before we get sent to Corel Prison, we talked about how we hear that there's been a shooting, and we rush to the scene at the battle arena. And we get Battle Arena Toshinden, a 10 out of 10 fighting game. We get there, and there are bodies on the ground covered with sheets. And we're talking about, our characters are talking about the senseless violence. What could have happened here? Could it have been Barrett? It's a mass shooting, which, I'll be honest with you, I know this happened in the original game, but it hits different in the year 2024, when mass shootings in the United States of America, at least, are a commonplace and terrifying thing. And the game treats it with all the gravitas and care that it should as we look upon these bodies, and then Dio flexes his way into the room.
And then Dio
and
swings
is like,
his big
"Check
old
out
balls
my
in."
pecs.
Yeah, his
Check out my
jiggle
fucking
physics on
pecs
his
and my
balls.
biceps. It's
Yeah,
the
still
most
in his
tone.
Speedo.
He's always
Briefs.
in a Speedo.
And his
It's the
golden
most-
cape.
It's the most tone-deaf thing in this game. It is legitimately, to me, this was on... And listen, I know, I get it. Nobody wants to hear me complain. But with my frustrations with the game up to this point, and then hitting this is when I legitimately almost was like, maybe I just don't finish this season. Maybe I just bail. Maybe I just play PUBG for the next 6 weeks, and you guys finish the game. Because this is garbage. It's garbage for fucking idiots. It's terrible. It's tone deaf. It's tasteless. It's tacky. It's terrible.
All right.
Only gas.
It's only got
Don't brush past this awful fucking part of this game. Like
I
it's
didn't have the
nothing.
same reaction to you as you did, Matt. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's fucking awful. It's gross. It's terrible. You know what? They should have said it in a school. Maybe then it would have fucking affected you. Like, look at these dead children, I guess. Anyway, here's a buff dude.
With big nuts.
And he's really hairy too.
All right.
I mean,
so,
Jim, Vanessa, can you, like, I would like you to speak to this. Like, did this not bother you? Because I thought it was fucking awful.
No, because these aren't real people. They're video game pixels.
Yeah, and I think that all
That's
the dead
nothing.
people were just like Shinra guards, and we kill them all the time.
It's
So I
true.
don't know why it's like suddenly a deal.
I don't think they were all Shinra guards. I think they were employees of this amusement park.
Shinra employees, you mean?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, if you work for Disney, you deserve to be gunned down during your fucking
Downtown
minimum wage
Brown.
job,
And that's
according
the
to
moral
fucking
of
Jim and
Final
Vanessa.
Fantasy VII. Moving on.
all right. Moving on. So in order to qualify to work with this bird, we got to get some greens.
Well, the bird's
'cause-
dying.
Yeah, you see the bird.
Also,
it's the
a
bird
weird
from
choice to
before.
be like, I need you to win me some money with the
Yeah.
Chocobo races. Here's a half-dead bird.
and
I
it,
need
it's
you to go up against professional jockeys on this half-dead bird.
Go
What was,
around
the
town
bird
and talk to
named
people
again?
about pick who's lying from this group of people before I'll allow you to race your half-dead bird.
now, who's telling the truth from that group of people? The
Yeah,
rest
that
are-
fucked me up, actually. I biffed it the first time because I just misread it. I was like, oh, who's lying?
Yeah. So what's the name of the bird again? It's the bird from the first zone because
Pico.
Chocobo Billy. Pico, that's it. Chocobo Billy's there, and he
Yeah, Chocobo
rode
Billy's
the
there.
bird through the
And
desert.
he's like, I'm
and
fine
almost
with
killed
fucking
it.
mass slaughter via assault weapon when it comes to Disney employees.
Chocobo Billy didn't have anything to do with that. The only crime Chocobo Billy is guilty of is animal neglect.
It's fine. He's
Yeah.
cool with it, like you guys are.
Yep. And so we decide. So I guess, well, we have no choice. In order to meet our friend and get out of Corel prison, we have to race a chocobo. But first, we got to nurse this chocobo back to health by finding Sylvie greens.
Silky greens.
Silky greens.
Why are they silky greens and not Geishel greens?
I don't know.
I think because is this a yellow chocobo or is it a different color?
It's a yellow.
It's yellow.
It's the
Yellow.
yeah. It's Pico.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
So we
These were hard
have
to find.
to. We have to go and do a bunch of mini games. I hope Matt loves that, including box
All right, hang
breaking,
on.
which I do.
These
love.
are mostly not mini games. They're
Gwames.
side quests. Gwames.
Yeah.
They're mostly not mini games. They're side quests.
Two of them are mini games. Games.
Quames.
There's Queen's Blood. You have to defeat 3 people at Queen's Blood.
Okay.
And
there's an arena. There's
box
another
breaking.
arena.
Yeah, there is another arena, and there's
Box breaking, another arena, and then there's the guess the truth teller. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It's all mini games.
well, there's some other.
No, I
ones
didn't
too.
like it. I hated it. You know what? I did I did like the box breaking.
Yeah.
I liked that
I
game.
really liked that.
It took me a while because the big prize was a glove for Tifa, and I like getting weapons. I always get excited, so I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. It took me a little while. I found using Braver was the fastest way to get
Me
through
too.
the big boxes.
Well, yeah. I mean, in fact, I was thinking about this while I was playing it. It's kind of weird that your first skill, Braver, is still kind of your most powerful skill.
I don't use that. I use like Disorder or what's the latest one? Prime.
I use
Prime.
Infinity.
I think you're supposed to use Disorder and then Prime. I think that's the chain.
Okay. I didn't know.
But for a quick hit,
Braver.
I use Braver, and also I use not here, but I use what's it called? The one that does the lightning and then fire attack. That does.
I like the Firebolt Blade. I like that one.
Yeah,
I think Triple Slash comes in handy if you need to attack just one guy a lot. Really.
Well, no,
really
Triple
fast.
Slash does more damage if you hit 3 opponents.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, I would always use
3
it to
different
concentrate
opponents.
on people, but I guess it doesn't do as much damage that way.
Mm-hmm. So, box breaking, great. It's my, but it did take me a few tries.
They added it's better than the last game. They added a great twist here where you have to find the vault boxes to unlock
That's way
the
better.
energy boxes or whatever they're called. I don't know. It makes it more of a puzzle.
and the
really
elevators
I
and
like
stuff
this
are
a lot.
new.
Yeah,
There-
the
there's a lot of-
elevators.
Yeah, a lot of new elements.
Yeah.
And there's 3 people you can play Queen's Blood against. There's a guy who's got some silky greens in his backyard, but then it gets stolen by Cactuar, and you have to go on
the
the
Cactuars.
Cactuar
Oh, yeah,
chase.
you gotta
The Cactuars
chase
are
that
so
Cactuar
cute.
around.
They're so fun.
I love in this Corel region especially so many goddamn Cactuars, and I love them so much. There's a lot of Cactuar content in this game, and I feel like it was made just for little old me.
Yeah, there's a bunch in the next chunker that we'll talk about
Yeah.
with the Proto Relic.
The first time I fought those, because you chase the Cactuar to a little Cactuar nest, and I did die the first time because you can get 1,000 needled pretty quickly
Yeah.
if you aren't Punisher moding, like ripping through them.
Yeah.
I had to I did it. It took me a couple of tries, and I tried dodging around it all and was doing okay, but eventually would die. And then finally I started trying to block instead, and that really
That's way better.
took it to that did it for me. And also that Firebolt Blade would fucking wreck those things.
That thing's good against most enemies, that Firebolt Blade. It's a good
Yeah.
attack.
I found that every enemy where it had an elemental thing, and it was a big boss where I needed to use magic, I should really have Rama on one of my party members, because it seems like electrical damage in those instances almost always comes in super handy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we I did every single one, because if you do the 3, because there's 6 of them total, you only need 3 silky greens to do the race, but if you get 6 of them, then you can put on the G or Gi, I guess Gi items onto your chocobo, and apparently that'll matter later. So I got all 3 of those.
I'll go ahead and explain that now. The like costumes that you can put on your chocobo, they all depending on the theme, they'll amplify one of your chocobo's attributes. So like handling or speed or acceleration, they all have different bonuses. So you can mix and match different like outfit items to come up with like your preferred style of chocobo racer.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mixed and matched a lot
Yeah, me
to
too.
get. I wanted a lot of handling.
There's a stalker gang one that's pretty funny. Because they'll
Yeah,
like
that
you
one's
have to go down. They kind of pressure you to go down a certain alley, and then they chase you. But they're super wimpy. It's pretty funny.
I mean, it was pretty funny. Like you talk to them, and they're like, "Walk ahead of us, clown," and then they like pick on you the whole time.
Nothing down that way, Cloud.
And the funny thing to me was that you get into the little arena with them, and they're like, "Ugh, we're gonna beat your ass," and I really wanted. oftentimes in this game, I would really like Cloud to just say to people like, "Hey, I'll really fuck you up."
And
Like,
they say
I'm
after, they say,
I'm
you
not
should have
kidding
told
around.
us.
I'm an ex-soldier and I have killed gods basically, and I will fuck you up. And he never says that, but I did like at the end of this when you do fuck them up, they're like, "You could have just told us that you would have fucked us up."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, he could have actually." Cloud, you're kind of an asshole.
So what do you think? She's not
They
a new
brought it on
character.
themselves.
But what do y'all think of this kind of villainous interpretation of Esther?
Villainous? What do you mean villainous?
She seems a little sinister. I don't know.
Yeah, she's working with these fucking scumbags.
She's just trying to
She's
make a
making
living,
kidnapped your
guys.
friends.
She's just trying to make a
Oh,
living.
okay. That's fine. She has chocobo handler immunity. That's how life works, is that you can commit all the crimes you want as long as your job says that you need to do that.
Vanessa, what do you think of Esther?
I also found her a little bit sinister, but in a way that fit in with everyone else who lives in the
Yeah.
seedy underbelly.
Mhm.
I also found a band playing of like
Yeah, the
goths.
band.
Oh yeah,
They
the
all
goth
have
band.
white face makeup on, and one of them has a little megaphone, like he's Mr. Brightside or something like that.
Mhm.
That sound effect.
I did have flashbacks to the first time I played Final Fantasy VII. In the jockey room, where Esther takes you, you have to you can find a Rama material that's very easily missed, and I had to start up the game over because I didn't grab it there the first time. There is no Rama materia in this room in this version.
There's no what material?
Oh.
Rama.
I actually kind of
In the first
don't
game
like
there is.
that you can't
Yeah.
find summon materias around. I don't like
Yeah.
how it's all tied to the quest
too.
because I feel like when you do find materias, which when I see them I'm always like, "Oh, yay!" And then when I find them
HP
I'm
up.
always
Oh,
yeah,
HP up.
exactly. Yeah, it's nothing. And I feel
Another
like in the original
pure
you would
materia.
find like summons that were so exciting. And this game just
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more summons and offensive spells in the original, and in this one there's lots of like gameplay augmenting materia, which I think it's interesting. It's more interesting, but also way more boring.
It really aggravates me that they're like, use your special attack materia. Like, you should just be fucking doing that. What's the fucking
Put
point
it in the menu.
of these AIs? What's the fucking point of these things? Also, let me bring up a little pet peeve that I talked to Jim about recently, which is that I don't like that your summon materias have to be attached to each of your characters. Like, because then I find myself just using the same one over and over again because whoever I've got on Cloud is the one that I'm going to use because that's the person that has an AP bar that I can use. Everybody else uses their AP bars instantly. So it's really frustrating to me that I've got all these summons, but I just use Titan over and over again. Like, why not just make it a
usually
list? Why not
switch
make it
out.
summon and just the list of your fucking summons and pick from your list depending on the situation?
I generally don't just stick to Cloud. Like, I'll have Cloud and doing his thing, but then I'll go and do the other. Like,
But
the
even
other
then,
ones.
you've only got your 3 party members that you can choose from, and you have to set all that up in advance. And I just don't understand why. Like these summons, I just don't think it works very well. I like the combat in this game overall, but I think that some of this stuff just could be done a lot better. If you're gonna do third person action oriented combat, then some of these things shouldn't be tied to your characters like this. It just doesn't make a ton of sense. Why does Cloud not just have all of the summon materials in his pocket and pull out the one he wants to use?
But like they used in the original series, original Final Fantasy VII, you did have to slot a materia, but you could have multiple summons on each character. So by the end, you usually have a couple on each. Anyway, Chocobo racing. I liked it. I like drifting. I like the little bit. It's basically Mario Kart, or I guess I never played the Chocobo racing on PS1 or Switch, so
I like it too. This is fun, and I will probably go back to the Golden Saucer and mess around with it some more. I think that this first one is really easy. Like I think the game is handing you this win.
I don't know. Like I'm playing the game on easy, so like I did, I think all the races in the game, and I found them all to be kind of easy. But I wasn't sure if that was because of the difficulty I was playing on. I don't know if the Chocobo racing stuff scales with your difficulty level.
that's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's
But
no
I
way of
liked
knowing.
There's no way of knowing.
True. There's no way
We'll
of
never
knowing.
know.
We'll never know. So you win the Chocobo race against this bad, like, villain from a ski movie who's like, "You'll never beat me."
He is like
You're not
Dude,
that
that's
good.
not true. He was kind of chill. It was everybody else was like, "This guy sucks," but when you meet him, he's like, "Best of luck. Like, I hope that you give me some competition."
No, he's like, "Good luck. You'll never beat us. You're not good enough." And then Tony the Tiger comes up behind Cloud. He's like, "Good. You're great.
You'll
And
never
then we
raise
show
enough money
him
to save
you're-
the community center.
Yeah, we'll show him you're a tiger. Show him what Cloud can do with the taste of Tony's Frosted Flakes. It brings out the tiger in you and you."
John, was that an 80s commercial jingle?
pretty weird, that jingle, because it's just sugar.
It is. I love Frosted
And
Flakes.
pretty
though.
much scientifically proven that sugar does not bring the tiger out in you. In fact,
brings
it
the
just kind
tiger
of makes
out
you
in you.
crash.
I love Frosted Flakes.
I've never
You just
had
wanted to
Frosted
fuck
Flakes.
Tony the
You've
tiger.
never had a frosted flake?
That's
I
weird.
wasn't allowed to have sugar cereals as a baby child, and so I never developed a taste for them. And as an adult, what am I going to do? Go out and buy some Frosted Flakes? That would be insane.
You know, I
No, it
don't.
would be insane because they're not good. But maybe some Captain Crunch, because that shit's da
I've
bomb.
never had Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch hurts my mouth.
Frosted Flakes, but I just have mini wheats.
Oh, I love mini wheats too. Do you guys eat? I mean, John obviously eats cereal on the reg. Do you guys eat cereal? Are you cereal people?
No, I'm a bagel boy. I like to have
You're
my
a
morning
guy.
bagel.
Okay. Vanessa, are
I
you a
love
cereal
cereal.
person?
I'll have some Cheerios sometimes in the morning.
Oh, you're like one of those
That's
boring
the most
cereal
boring
people.
answer I've ever heard in my
give me
life.
some
Holy
Cheerios
shit.
or some grape nuts, says Vanessa.
But usually I'll have, I will either have oatmeal or
I love
I'll
oatmeal.
have fruit and yogurt. Like some fruit and Greek yogurt. That's kind of my jam these days.
I'm really good at whipping up some little breakfast tacos. Give me some eggs, and I'll get a little.
that sounds good.
I'll warm up some sausage links in that pan, and I'll throw it in a little tortilla, and that's my breakfast.
Yeah,
little
I like to do. I like to make little breakfast sandwiches, particularly on a bagel.
Oh, that's what.
Sometimes on
that's
some
what,
toast.
That's what Jalen does. She's a bagel sandwich fiend.
I love a bagel sandwich or a croissant sandwich.
Ooh, love croissant.
Croissant sandwiches are great, but like I find them harder to make at home. Bagels are perfect for making
they're
a
easy.
breakfast sandwich
Yeah.
at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
This
we
has
win
been
the race.
Been breakfast roots.
Gus is true to his word. He gets a bird to show you how to find the cabin through the desert.
It's
So
a
you gotta-
vulture.
Yeah, it's
Gotta
like
follow
a
that bird.
scavenger bird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a vulture.
Yeah, like a
So you
carrion
follow that
eater.
bird all
Like a-
the
like a
way
fucking vulture.
to the cabin, and on the way we do run into a Barrett, and everyone's like, "Hey, Barrett! Hey, buddy! Hey, special guy!"
It weirdly kicked Tifa out of my party at this point. Like, she couldn't be in the party anymore. She had to hang back and console Barrett, I guess.
They're bestest
So
friends.
did you do a
I wish they
murder?
would have included in this. Do you guys remember this scene from the original where they get to the cabin and Barrett says this whole flashback? They find Barrett in the room in the original, and he raises his gun at him and shoots, but he's shooting some like hidden thief guy behind a couch or something, and
Yes.
the guy falls over
Yes.
dead. There should have been that in this game. That would have been amazing.
That would have been great.
And it was
So
actually
Well, I
dust.
guess-
he
This kind of makes sense because, as we discussed last time, Cloud is constantly trying to murder innocent people, and they're pretty cool with just having him around. So
Cloud's like, I
it makes
actually
sense that they just
really
be like,
identify.
"Hey, Barrett."
Cloud, do you need a nap?
Yeah.
You've been trying to kill a lot of innocent people. Do you need a nap, buddy?
Barrett's like, no, I didn't kill anyone, obviously, you weirdos. But I think I know who did it, and it's related to my traumatic backstory. And you get to this cabin. I guess do you have a flashback? Yeah, you do have the flashback here. Where,
Yeah, long one.
yeah, a long one that shows Dine and Barrett at the reactor, and they're seeing that it's all exploding, and they're like, we got to get back to the town and tell people what happened. They get back to the town, and it's all in flames, and the mayor is there, and the mayor's like, it was Shinra. They came in. They wanted to cover the whole thing up, and then the Shinra people shoot the troopers shoot the mayor, and then Dine is like, well, we got to make a break for it. You can do it. You're not going to hide this time, Barrett. You're going to run with me. And then you do, but then Dine almost falls off a cliff. And then Barrett's holding Dine, and they're all shooting at him. And then Scarlett's like, ugh, let me do this. And she shoots the arms off of both of them.
How do
like
you
a scene
shoot
from
two
Robot
arms
Cop.
off at the same time with bullets?
It's really
She's
stupid.
that good.
And she listen, I don't mean to sound like a fucking, I don't know, fuddy-duddy, but like she just points and clicks the gun and it just shoots.
She's that good.
There's like no recoil. There's no like, it's the worst looking scene in the whole game to me. Is like her just standing there pointing her automatic weapon at somebody and being like, pulling the trigger, and it just staying right on target and just ripping their arms off or whatever. I
But
don't
it
know,
doesn't. It's
really
not
bugs me.
RoboCop. You don't see you only see little, because it's a T-rated game. You only see little puffs of blood on Barrett's arm. You don't. I don't know if you remember RoboCop with the arm. Yeah, none of that happens. It's not the Fallout TV show. And
So much
yeah,
foot trauma.
I know. But he drops Dine. Dine falls off a cliff. And as Jim said, he never mentions that he heard rumors of someone coming back with a gun on the opposite arm. But Barrett has some idea who this is. So when they get to the cabin, he's like, you guys hang back. This is on me. I'm going to do this. So he goes inside, and tied to a chair is Dine. And Dine is talking to Marlene and not Elvira. I don't remember what is Eleanor. Marlene and Eleanor,
and
as if they
Marlene's
are
mother.
there. He's having a real Zach Shack
Marlene and
moment.
Momleen.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, honey, Barrett came over for dinner. Put the kettle on."
One thing I like about Dine's characterization in Rebirth is how dangerously insane he is.
Yep.
He's
It actually does make a lot more sense.
Yeah, it
than,
does.
Does he also think it's his birthday? Is he like, "Oh, Barrett, did you bring me a birthday present? It's my
Probably.
birthday."
And I did wonder about his pee situation, but I guess he was just on that chair.
As we know, when you have a gun arm, your biological waste is converted into bullets.
We did talk
So
about
you
this.
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to go pee pee or poo poo.
Oh, right. The bullets are pizzed and shids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they come from.
I remember this in the group
Right.
chat because John said like the Fremen, and I said,
Yeah.
yeah, I like Dune doing shooty shoots with my piss and shit.
But Vanessa misread it as Frenchmen.
Yeah,
I
should
did
say
misread
Frenchman.
it as Frenchmen, and I thought it was shockingly xenophobic, I think is how I described it.
No, Fremen is not short for Frenchman, Vanessa. So take Dine outside, and then he's like, wait, where have you been? He sort of gets some awareness, and he's just really mad at Barrett because he's like, you've been alive this whole time. I thought you were dead, and look what's happened. I hate you. Especially when you tell him, oh, hey, because he talks about how, you know, he wants to die so he can join Marlene and Eleanor, and Barrett's like, oh, actually, I've been taking care of Marlene for years. She thinks I'm her dad now.
Yeah,
Isn't that
check out
funny?
my wallet photo.
Of your daughter.
Yeah.
And he's like, why would you just take my daughter and not, like, find me in the hospital and bring her back? And he's like,
I assume they both went to Dr. Sheeran, too, and he just never mentioned to one or the other.
Well,
Why didn't Doc Sheeran mention anything?
I guess that's a
because
HIPAA
of
thing, right?
Doctor-patient confidentiality, yeah.
Yeah, he can't.
I don't buy
I feel
that.
like he should have. So
They were
Dine
probably
is
in there at the
so
same
angry.
time with just like a sheet between them, you know, between the beds.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're all in love with Dine, and they're doing it in Texas. A joke I made in the original Final Fantasy
nice
VII,
butthole surfers joke. Wow.
which you said in the original Final Fantasy VII podcast run as well. So we're really repeating that
Yeah,
bit.
we are.
And then Dine's like, well, let's do it. Let's fight. You want to fight me? I'll fight you. I can throw bombs. I have like weird zappy attacks that will paralyze you. You're never going to defeat me.
I really did not enjoy this fight. It was
Barrett's
just, it's
like,
not that it was
I can use
hard, it was
healing
just
items.
boring.
So you defeat Dine. Because
I like this dynamite.
although something weird happens, he does start like accumulating junk into tentacles.
Yeah, that was something.
And you gotta like shoot these tentacles that are coming at you, and right as you are about to defeat him, suddenly you start getting shot at by Shinra people who are surrounding. I thought
Why
this
are
was
they
a
here?
delusion.
Why are they here? For you?
I don't
For the party? I don't know why they show up here.
So you have to. So meanwhile, Cloud and everyone else are taking care of the Shinra guards because they're not going to intervene on this deadly fight to the death. Because Barrett needs this, okay? And eventually, Dine does save Barrett by getting in the way of some bullets and gets super shot up. And his last words are the very comforting, "Take my guilt."
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, Dine
What
is
is
really
this?
intent on making Barrett feel terrible.
Yep.
Yeah. Which is exactly what you want for the guardian of your child, right?
Yeah.
Just like,
Also, I
Vanessa,
found...
why are you so loud now?
I'm sorry, I had to move my computer and I moved my mic, and now I'm holding my mic instead of having it on my table. And I guess I put it a little close to my face.
That's okay. You can interview people or things around your house in the room you're stuck in, as
Yeah,
if they are
I can
people.
interview things around my house.
Mr. Psyduck, how do you feel about how horny Taskmaster makes me?
Say-ay-ay.
Say-ay-ay. It's just a bunch of pale British boys.
Your favorite. So Dine dies, and Barrett puts that little 4x3 picture in his hand, his little wallet-sized photo, so that he'll always remember his dead daughter, or the dead man will always remember his daughter. It was a very sweet. This wasn't sweet. He was so mean to Barrett at the end.
Super mean.
Yeah. It's weird too, because like I get that he is disturbed. That's the point. And I feel like this does it better than the
Him
original.
killing himself, where he jumps off a cliff at the end.
Yeah, where he's just like, I can't possibly see my daughter. I'll die. This is better. But it is weird that he's such a dick to Barrett here. And again, I get that he is disturbed and not in his right mind, but like, this man has done you a huge fucking favor, and you should be very grateful. Oh, did you save my daughter's life and then go and take her to Midgar and give her a better life? How dare you?
Yeah.
She should have died with me and her mother. Cool. Super cool.
So he does. So the one peaceful moment as Dine dies is that he does see his wife again, and that's beautiful.
Yeah, this actually did bring like a little tear to my eye. Like I didn't hate this part. It was fine. I didn't like. I think the and I'm sure I said this in our original Final Fantasy VII series. This is an interesting and to some degree like a well written interaction. Like this really does a lot for Barrett and his character. It's very
and it wasn't
silly.
predictable. It was a little different than you thought it was going to go.
It's very. I don't need the dual gun arms. Like they could have found a better way to do this that wasn't. Also, my best friend that I thought was dead, who's the father of my adopted daughter, also has a gun arm because it just comes across as very stilted and stupid. And
see, it's a rhyming pair of people.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Damn it,
they're
George
two
Lucas.
sides of the,
George,
So we show via
God damn
the
it.
loss of hands should be.
it's like rhyming feet with feet. You know, it just doesn't work, George.
No, see, it's like he lost his hand and the other
How
one
was
lost
filming
his hand.
Willow?
but
Were you on
the
set
other
or were you
hand
just a
and-
writer?
I got to go. Goodbye.
Did anybody ever read those Willow books that he like ghost wrote or that he put his name on and were ghost written for him? It was a trilogy.
I never
of
got
Willow
to see
books.
the Willow show on Disney because they
It's not
tax wrote
fucking
it
good.
off.
Yeah, it's bad.
Oh shit! They deleted it.
Yeah, they deleted it.
Wow.
That
Yeah.
sucks, and I'm not supporting that position, but I did watch 3 or 4 episodes of that show, and I thought it was fucking garbage.
You know what? Maybe
It was smarmy 2000s, like everybody's quippy and sounds like they live on Twitter, but they're fucking fantasy characters in a fantasy land, and like I don't have any problem with having gay or people of color in your fantasy in any way, shape, or form, but I do have a problem when all of your characters talk like they are typing tweets for fucking Twitter because it's awful. That's what Marvel's turned into as well. That's basically Disney these days.
Now you sound
Written
like
by Twitter.
This is kind of a Gamer Gator adjacent argument that you're making right
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think that there's a lot of really shitty writing coming out of some of these big companies. I think Disney is really fucking guilty of it. I mean, listen, I've been a long-standing Marvel guy for years. You all were like, "Fuck, I'm sick of Marvel," and I was like, "No way, I love this shit." And even I hit the
Not
fucking point of
me.
no return.
You slander me with the same brush you slandered Jim and Johnny with.
So
I love
loud.
Marvel.
It's not true. We both watched the Marvels, and neither of us liked it.
So guess who comes crashing in on a poorly controlled tank?
It's old
Yeah.
butter coffee man Palmer.
Yay! Palmer doesn't know how to control his tank. It's stumbling across the
Rude and
desert.
Elena fly him in on their helicopters.
Then they just
I
kind of
actually,
ditch him.
so you get this whole boss fight with Dine, right? And then you get this like emotional, like I had problems with it, but pretty fucking emotional and touching scene. And then it cuts back to Cloud and he looks up at the horizon and there's a fucking mech being flown in on a helicopter. And I was like, fuck, fuck you. I know what that means. I know that means I have to fight another fucking robot. God damn it.
Wish I had Rama.
Is that how it's pronounced? Rama?
I would say Ramu, but I'm an American, so I
always
don't
say-
pronounce things
I
right.
always say Ramu, but maybe I'm wrong.
I say ramen.
Yeah.
Great.
Ramen?
And then you're like,
So you have a very
Instant Cup.
silly...
I love it. That's why I'm a big Final Fantasy 15 fan.
There's quite a tonal shift as you go from sad ex-friends and the loss of family to Palmer slapping his little butt, being like, "Woo-hoo-hoo, you can't defeat me and my robot."
This game
And-
sucks. This game sucks.
So you
It is
blow
a
up
strange
his-
choice Palmer makes during this battle. He's in his tank, which presumably protects him from any damage, but he does occasionally pop out of it just so he can turn his butt to you and slap it in his haunting way.
It's kind of the same thing that Tom Cruise does in the Mission Impossible movies. He's doing these high-speed chases, and then he'll stop and turn his car around and mug at the person who's chasing him for like a whole 3-second shot, just
That's
opening
true.
himself up to be shot in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm hoping for, but it never happens, which is really frustrating. Like, please
I want a
kill Tom
director's
Cruise.
cut of the first Mission Impossible movie where all the cool characters survive and Emilio Estevez is the main character,
Yes.
and then Tom Cruise's character totally gets killed in an elevator.
I like that.
On top of an elevator. Yeah. Me too. Anyway, so Palmer fight, and then Palmer's robot gets super damaged, but it's not dead yet. However, right this second, when things are starting to look bad for everyone, Dio drives in on his amazing buggy, and he saves the day. And he's like, I heard everything. I was listening through the monitor in that little bracelet I gave you, Cloud, and it turns out you guys are great, and I trust you, so I'm going to help you against Shinra because I'm super strong. And he like starts fighting Rude.
He takes your
and they're
tracker
both
off,
so
too.
Yeah, he takes your tracker off, gives you a buggy, and you all get into the buggy, even Yuffie, who maybe doesn't want to ride a buggy because of her tum-tum.
This buggy is... I feel like they over-designed it a little bit. Like, it just needs to
pretty
be a
cool.
little
really?
car you
I
drive
love it.
around.
It's
No, I
pretty
love it.
cool.
I like it.
I
It's
like
silly.
I like the look of it, but getting in and out of it, you gotta slow walk up and
The
down
animation
the
is
steps every
so
time.
long
Oh
getting in and
my
out of it.
God.
I guess I've only seen like, because you do get another little action scene as you're escaping where
Yeah.
you're shooting all the
It's a good one.
the bikes after you, and then suddenly
And then
Palmer
shows back
returns,
up in his mech, and you have to do that
That's
again.
fun.
and you have to avoid. So there's like 3 lanes you can be in, so you got to remember the timing of his
Yeah.
bombs and not have the buggy in one of those lanes. And then it's all right. That's pretty fun.
After this scene is my personal favorite cutscene of the game, because after you escape Palmer, it cuts to Reeve editing the terrorist
a very good
photos in his
cutscene.
office, and Barrett is
Yeah.
like a young blonde white guy, and Tifa's like an American girl with long bangs, and Cloud is like
Yeah,
the
I like
shaggy-haired
Tifa's tragic-
American white dude. It is so funny.
I like Tifa's new tragic bangs.
Tifa has great bangs. I love Barrett. He's like this flat top blonde guy with sunglasses on who looks like he's like 15.
Yep.
So
And
funny.
you see a Ketchi
A
little
cat
doll behind
robot,
him.
Yeah.
And you see that he's whistling because he's super happy. And
He
his
loves his job.
assistant comes in and is like, "Oh, you're in a good movie," and he like closes all his monitors so she can't see that.
Yeah,
he's
you're in a
been
good movie.
editing.
Yeah,
Or
you're in a good mood. He
sorry.
slams his computer shut, which makes it look like he's been looking at porn at work. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
We've all been there, Vanessa.
I wish that Reeve would have
You're
changed their
allowed to
names.
look at
Nude
porn
egg?
at work.
I wish that Reeve would have changed their names on his computer screen. Like instead of Cloud Strife, it was like Proud Life. And then
Oh,
Proud Life.
don't like that.
I think we discussed last time, and by last time I mean in the first part of the remake, that Reeve originally was supposed to have kind of a magical power to animate dolls, and that was cut out of the narrative.
Oh.
But I felt like the cat she behind him was kind of a nod to that.
Okay. Because in this version, Kate Sith is like, all right, so I'm going to help you. I'm joining you guys. You seem like the specialist group of special boys ever, and I want to see where this goes. And Barrett's like, well, aren't you part of Shinra? He's like, yeah, sure. I was working for Shinra, but, I'm here with you guys now, so don't worry about it. And Barrett's like, okay, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, you convinced me, animatronic cat.
Yeah, it's weird to me that they know he's an animatronic cat. I didn't think they did. Now it makes less sense.
Hey, here's the ability to summon a god from the heavens, robotic cat. Use it wisely.
Well, I gave him Moko and Chog, so...
Moko and Chog! Moko and Chog!
Yeah, you're way too excited about this
Moko
slight
and
mispronunciation. Mog and Choco.
I also gave him Moko and Chog because I thought it was thematically appropriate.
And so also here because I was like, I was really sad that he didn't have his large animatronic Moogle friend, but he
Moggle.
makes his Moogle friend appear through magic.
It is. I guess we can probably talk about it more next week when we actually gain control of him. But I think it works really well. It's part of his abilities. He summons the Moogle, and then it gives him more maneuvers to use. It's pretty fucking great, actually. I really like it.
Yeah, I haven't
guess
got that far
maybe
yet.
I just didn't play with him much, or I just forgot. But he's basically the bard of your party, which I really like. You know,
And originally he just had those really annoying
against. I'm roundly
slot
for Kate
abilities.
Sith. I love Kate Sith.
And I'd say that's the end of the chapter, but there's one more thing.
A little chunky here. A little chunky.
A little chunky. Meanwhile, back in
Infuriating.
Midgar, in a different reality, Zach
wait.
is looking for Biggs.
John, you're skipping over the Glenn Lodbrok scene. Isn't there a Lodbrok
you're
scene?
right.
Or
And
Sweet
Glenn
Lodrock.
Is Glenn Rodblock just
It's
part of
Sephiroth.
Genova?
It's just Genova.
Yeah, is he part of Genova? Because he's like
Yes.
appearing out of smoke and
Yes.
seems to be taunting Rufus in the same way that Sephiroth taunts Cloud. So I'm thinking,
fan
I think he's
theory.
a part of Genova here because he seems to be acting very.
I mean, John, I
Genova
don't think that
slash
you're
Sephiroth.
Yeah, I don't think you're just assuming that. I think it's very clearly shown because he does wear the robes and has the glowing green eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It very much is just Genova. It's another Genova piece.
But I figured that happened to Cloud because Cloud has a part of Genova in him in the soldiering process.
Yeah, I mean
Maybe
they've
Rufus
been
does,
threatening
too.
that. That's what they've been threatening in this game is that Cloud is. That's what all of his memory breaks and his
But does
psychotic
that mean
breaks are.
Rufus has it too? Did he go through a soldier program? I guess we'll have to find out. But I'd say next time on Square Roots. But first, Zack attack. A little teeny tiny Zacky chunk. Where Zack... Oh, and I forget, I guess Glenn was just taunting Rufus. I don't remember about what. Promised Land?
Nothing really. Yeah, the Promised Land
was
and like
Promised
he
Land
basically he
stuff.
taunts him because he's like, "You're a little boy." That's it.
Yeah.
That's fucking it.
So meanwhile, Zack is looking for Biggs and then finds Big. End of Chunker!
End of Chunker.
I mean, you can walk around talking to people, and I did do that, and he'd show people a photo of Biggs, and they'd be like, I have never seen that man before in my life.
Yep. And then
Then a
finds
bomb
Biggs.
goes off at the church where Aerith picked her flowers, and he runs that way and finds Biggs. That's what happens.
And you don't see Biggs'
I
face.
assume that the bomb going off is just Shinra cleaning up their fucking mess.
Yeah. You don't see Biggs' face, but you do see the back of his head, and Zack holds the front of his face picture to the back of his head. It's like, same guy!
How do you guys feel about Biggs showing back up?
I'm fine with it.
I don't care.
He was at the end of the last game. I just want to see where this whole Zack end of the world where everyone's miserable because they're like, well, this meteor is going to kill us all. I want to see where this plot line goes.
I'm 50 fucking hours into this game. So at this point, the fact that we've gotten 7 minutes of Zack content, frankly,
If
is
that.
really annoying the shit out of me. It's really bugging me.
So Matt
Like,
wants more
don't,
Zach.
Maybe don't
yeah,
do
he
it.
loves Zach and he wants
I would
more Zach.
either way, less Zach or more Zach. No Zach or more Zach. This is bullshit. It's bullshit.
Balzac.
Yeah, Balzac.
Balzac. All right. Well, next time on Square Roots, we're going to play Chapter 9, which is very plot intensive. So
Only 6 more chapters.
plan accordingly. Yeah. Less than that. I mean, if we do a chapter a piece, there's only 14 chapters. So 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. 5. I wasn't counting 10.
Or 9.
I was counting 9. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
9, 10, 11, 12,
9, 10.
13, 14.
That's 6.
Great
6
counting,
more
guys. That's a lot of good content to look forward to.
Yep.
Yeah, so next
So
time
many chunkies.
We will explore. There's a whole new area to explore, new side quests, some new mini games.
It's weird to call it new when it is just the rest of Corel.
No. The next chunker includes. You can do as much
No
as Corel
spoilers.
as you want, but there's a whole other section that will open up in the next chunker as well.
Oh boy. Jim warns us this is a long one, so prepare accordingly.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, I'll have to actually play it some this weekend.
I will play this weekend.
All right. Squarely
And-
against John. What are you squarely against?
I'm roundly for the Tonberry murder humidifier. Oh, it was great. What about Matt? I wonder what Matt's against.
He
Okay,
already
well,
went. He said he's roundly for Kate Sith.
I've been very negative this episode, so I will say that I am I'm roundly for Kate Sith. I love every time Kate Sith is on screen, every time I get to talk to him and have him around. I was very excited. I had a lot of problems with this chunker, but I did love Kate Sith. So, that's what I'm roundly for. What about you, Jim?
I am roundly for Dio. I think Dio's design is great. I love how over the top they've gone with all of these side characters. Like, there's nobody that just blends into the background. They're all like really weird, unique freaks.
Except for Leslie.
Leslie's the least interesting new character, I think, in the entire series. But yeah,
I don't know. Chadley's right there. What are you talking about?
Chadley's a cyborg.
Chadley's interesting.
He's
He's a
Chadley
weird
is
cyborg
just a
kid.
fucking quest giver.
he's
That's
an
it. He has no
encyclopedia
plot.
cyborg.
He has no character.
He was
He's
dressed
just a
like a
quest
Tonberry
giver.
because his calculations showed him
It's
that
true.
it reduced aggression.
He's basically Johnny Five asking for input all the time. I love it. But yeah, I really enjoyed Dio. I love his character design. All of the muscles, like I don't know.
Making
It
you
really
realize
worked
things.
for me. Yeah, maybe. I hope this doesn't awaken something in me. Vanessa, what are you squarely against?
I'm squarely against the battle sequence from the rover, which we didn't really talk that much about, if
the
at
buggy?
all.
It's not good.
The
I didn't
buggy.
like it.
Yeah, you ride the buggy. You have to play as Barrett and shoot out of the back of the buggy, while Palmer and his associates chase you down. I've complained many times on this show about new game mechanics that are introduced into RPGs, and this was one of those where it's like, oh, now you're sort of doing a first-person shooter from this moving vehicle.
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
like it.
like it either.
I did not find it fun. I didn't think it controlled well. It didn't
It
feel
didn't
good
control well
to
at
do.
all.
If you
And-
turn the aim speed up, it's a little better.
And again, it's like, you're making an RPG, that's what you know how to do. Don't try to make it a shooter, Or if you're going to make it a shooter, hire people who know how to make a shooter to do that
Yeah.
part
I
of
wanted
your
to play
game.
a Final Fantasy VII shooter. I played Dirge of Cerberus.
Ew.
I still kind of want to play Dirges.
I kind of want to. I kind of want to try. I don't know that I have the patience to play the whole thing.
I'm also squarely
Weird.
against my cat knocking my microphone onto the floor while I'm recording, so I apologize for that part of my
No,
track
that'll be
quality. Have
super
fun
fun to
editing
listen
it out.
to.
I'm squarely against John whispering, "What a good girl," into his microphone.
He's
But
telling
she
me I'm
is.
a good girl. He's giving me encouragement. What's wrong with
Look at
that?
her, just walking around so proud and her
You
tail.
know I
You're not
can't
a
walk
good girl.
around. That's so rude.
rolling on the floor.
I
Wanting to
can't
pet
do
her.
that, I guess, but I don't.
Mm-hmm. Aw, good girl.
All right.
Have we all gone?
That's the end of Squarely Against.
Yep.
Yep.
All right, well, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to become a patron and support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/Square Roots Podcast. We have years and years of bonus content on there. Most recently, we played Silent Hill: The Short Message. This month, we are playing Tacoma. And eventually talking about Fallout, maybe, when we have a conversation about when we're going to do that. Also, on the Patreon, we have lots of great level up content. We've got Square Roots Versus content. We've got some movie commentaries. Got a lot of cool stuff on there. If you'd like to support us at our $3 level, you get access to all that great content. At the $5 level, you can listen to all that cool stuff. Plus, you have the ability to vote on games that we play on the show. Our next game will be decided by a vote. So if you'd like to have your voice heard, become a patron. Another benefit of being a patron is
we should be putting that vote up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, we should. Another benefit of being a patron is we like to personally thank some of them on the air. I'm going to thank some first this week and thank Nofford, Eric Pidkameni, Mike, Omaha Zookeeper, Ederal, David Pascal, Chris Sasaki, Mike, Nick, David Arnold, Explosive Diarrhea, and Jaybird.
I'd like to thank Florian Jonas Kramer. Hey, it's me, Vivian, the Daily Gazette, Mike Marno, Tracy, Jesse's Mom's Pizza, Chris, Gage, La Carite, Lexiverio, T. Bumpkins wishes everyone a Happy New Year from Tickle Crab Island Dew.
Yay!
Did Sephiroth do this? And Zachary Bullet Ant Harbison.
I'd like to thank friend of Soto, Aaron O'Toole, Aaron Nerd Violence Little, DP 2099, Sexy
Nerd violence
Grandma's
is what I want to commit when I play this game.
Retirement Home, Ross Hartley, Tom Magpie Juju, Julie, Rachel, Washing the Wind, Cerulean, and Andy Best.
I'd like to thank Mostly Rational Person, Gigantified Microspace Hamster, Amanda Douglas, Sephirosi, Ben H., Fei Fong Dong, Joshua Rose, Dragon Quest 3 or 4 in 2024, Star Drifter, Sergeant Spaghetti, Dr. Fine, Say Everyone's Name, Daniel Wood, Butts on Parade, and Cameron Shoei.
I just want to say to Dragon Quest 3 or 4 in 2024, good luck, bud. John has decided, John has decreed that we're not allowed to play RPGs this year.
Which is why we've played 2 so far.
Dragon Age doesn't count.
All right, everyone, that's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to send us an email to have read on the air, you can email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or be skied at us at squarerootspod.bsky.social.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
For Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
Yeah.
I'm...
Oh?
No?
Yeah.
heard-
Hype
Vanessa-
me up, Vanessa. Hype me
Oh.
up.
Yeah.
Right.
Matthew Van Zant.
Van Zandt.
Yeah.
I'm Johnny Brandon.
Johnny. Can't it up.
And I'm Vanessa.
Yeah, you're not good at
Vanessa.
this, actually.
Goodbye.
Just don't
Easy
bother.
V doesn't come for free.
Goodbye.
She's a real lady. Slam your body down, the party's all around.